I believe we are live. Hello, everyone. Once everyone says this is all good and working, we'll officially get this started here. Going to be streaming for at least a couple hours today. At least. That's right. Got ourselves a pretty clear couple hours ahead. Should be a fun time. Hopefully we'll run it up. Already up like $3 sweet, so there's that. Let's just make sure everything is working, and then we'll really get in there. All right, sounds good. Welcome to the new layout, by the way. How organized does this look? Yes. Hello. Hello, Jaji-san. Something like that. What's up, J-Nels? Bet-Stack. Hello. We have 2 guys we've seen before, 3 we've never seen before. I'll wait for that for a second. Let's make sure this all gets started here. I guess looks and sounds good on my end. I'm going to post on Facebook. If you guys want to share, post on Facebook, stuff like that, I would appreciate it. Let me just do that, I suppose. Streaming live for a couple hours. I guess I'll pop that over here. Not winning this hand. Streaming live for a couple hours over on twitch.tv. All right. That's right. EU friendly. That's right. We're very friendly to EU over here. What are you saying? Streaming, run it up. Live on Ultimate Poker. Makes Uncle Lorenzo happy, right? Streaming, run it up live on Ultimate Poker for a couple hours over on Twitch.tv coming out. All right. Sounds good. If you want to support that, I would appreciate it. That would be sweet of you. And, okay. I guess we'll officially begin the Run It Up segment. Run It Up 109? Is that what this is? Good morning, Kutzin. Good morning. I know. 9 in the morning Pacific, noon Eastern. And what is it, like sometime in April over there in Europe? Something like that. So if you want to go share that Facebook post, like, comment, whatever, I would appreciate it. And I guess we'll get started here in a second. That's right, streaming live. I guess I should change that as well. If you're not hanging out with us in IRC, you can hop on Run It Up on Sin IRC. That would be sweet. All right. I think we're all good. Good morning. Femoral. Good morning. All right. Oh, I should post on Twitter as well, I guess, huh? I guess no one will be expecting the 9 in the morning stream, so we should probably post this on that as well. All right. Gonna re-raise El Guapo to get us started out. That's right. Streaming live on twitch.tv/jcarverpoker. Streaming some Ultimate Poker. Gotta give them a little bit of credit. Streaming some Ultimate Poker live on twitch.tv/jcarverpoker. Come hang out. Hashtag run it up. Perfect. What an amazing tweet that is. Streaming some Ultimate Poker live on Twitch. Run it up. All right. Hello. That's right. Some Pokerino. That's right. How do you guys like the layout? Isn't it beautiful? Is it beautiful or what? All right. Yeah, I saw Guapo posted he had like a 4x stack. Seems like he's been doing pretty well, all in all. Good morning, Maximus in 3D. I do remember you, Frolmo, actually. All right, I'm all in. All right, El Guapo trying to steal from us right off the bat. I had a 10 in that spot. I had Jack 10 suited. El Guapo raised, we re-raised. I guess we should start this video properly. Hello, welcome to Run It Up number 109, Run It Up number 109 live. That's right. We're going to be playing for a couple hours today, up very early, 9 in the morning Pacific time. Going to stream for a couple hours. I have like the next couple hours free. Hopefully we'll do some work. I've only been live for a couple minutes, and I guess that's, ran it up, time to quit, $33 later. If you want to come hang out, you can hang out. I guess you guys know that if you're listening to me. If you want to support the tweet or Facebook, any of that kind of stuff, I would appreciate it because it is obviously pretty early in America. So all you Euros that want to see streams more often, help me out, Tell your friends. Things are happening, Things are happening on the internet. That's right. We're going to do some Q&A. Hopefully we'll run it up. We'll play for at least a couple hours. We'll see how this goes. But I have at least till about noon free, and it's only 9:30. So unless we run it down all the way to 0, we'll be playing for at least a couple hours. That's right. Early morning streaming sessions. It says 108. Pretty sure it's 109. I tried to change the stream thing, but I think I was already streaming, so I couldn't change it. Maybe I can? Maybe I just did. I might have just changed it. If I didn't, well, sorry. It's 109. That's right. Come on. It's 2014, guys. That's right. Not feeling enough love of the old, the new overlay. Look how beautiful it's laid out. There's like things and sections. I thought it was pretty sweet, all in all. No? All right. Updated now. Perfect. 109. So if you're watching this live, obviously there's no hole cards, but I'll pull back the veil every once in a while and let you guys know what I have. Might do some giveaways, that kind of thing. If you're watching on YouTube, well, obviously that's great. You can follow me on Twitch if you're not already doing that. If you want to see the live streams, which I'll be doing more often. I want to do more and more of these live streams with no hole cards, like longer live streams, and then post with hole cards later on YouTube. So that's the plan for this upcoming week, at least. I kind of like this a lot more because it allows me just to do like, oh, I feel like playing poker right now for 2 hours, which is how I feel right now. Great, perfect, we'll do a stream. Like I think this is better for my sanity, and that's about right. No, our bankroll is at $850 right now, thanks to this $35. We had a bit of a downswing, but we're doing all right, all in all. Sup, NevDog90. We got some work to do, but we're playing such like, big buy-ins compared to our bankroll. We were playing $100 buy-in tournaments and $200 buy-in cash games, stuff like that. So it's not that crazy to go from 2K down to $850. Thanks, No Respect. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate that. Getting some, giving the Europeans some hangout time that's free. What time is it in Australia right now? It's like 12 hours, right? Isn't it like 9:30 p.m.? Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Wow, even Rory shows up? Wow. That's how you know you got a good time. Good evening from Lithuania. Good evening, Rolinas. Good evening. What's up, Fly White High? Hello from London. That's right. The Europeans just loving it. That's right. The hand delivered. The European pure, perfect time. So I don't think we know any of these three people. Maybe we've seen this guy before, but don't think we've seen either of these two. We've played with the Vegas 7 a couple times, and obviously El Guapo, Rolling Up Warrior. He crushes the internet. I don't know what to say. He is the ruler of Ultimate Poker, apparently. The small stakes prince over there, Mr. Guapo. Off to the flop here. I raised to $1.50. Got 2 defenders in the blinds. Going to be a pretty good flop for us as pre-flop raiser. Just not really, that doesn't give away very much. It's the kind of flop that's going to not connect with them too often, and it connects with us far more often. El Guapo defends. If you want to hang out with us in the IRC chat, you got to go to Sin IRC. So you have to connect to the Sin IRC network. IRC has like 1 trillion different networks. You got to pick the right network, and then it's a run it up channel. So I have ace high here. I actually have ace jack. Pretty good handle and all, but I don't think there are too many hands that El Guapo is going to play this way that we're going to beat. If he has the worse ace high than us, I don't think he necessarily always bluffs the river. He probably either checks the river sometimes, or he probably checks the river sometimes because, what does betting accomplish if he has ace high? So I think that we can fold the river pretty comfortably. We get bluffed by like queen jack if he was just being like really sticky, but I feel like he probably has a king or pocket pair pretty often. Did I enjoy the other day's Walking Dead? I did. I did think it was pretty good. My newfound podcast friend Rob Sesternino said he thought it was the best Walking Dead episode maybe ever. I don't know about maybe ever. I mean, but I definitely thought it was pretty good. A nice little change of pace. Sup, it's Court. Sup, buddy. Off to the flop we go. No Leprechaun Sheriff on St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing the green Ultimate Poker shirt. That kind of counts, sort of, kind of, right? Something like that. Oh, nice. Welcome, Trisha. Where's the leprechaun? I actually even moved the the coat rack thing, but yeah, it's right over there. I can still see it. You guys just can't. I think the last few episodes of The Walking Dead are going to be pretty strong. Yeah, I mean, they always seem to conclude correctly. I mean, you know, they always seem to end up right where you kind of hope they end up. But this season has not been their strongest, that's for sure. Chuck calling here again twice. So I think he limped under the gun, and then we check called flop, and then we check called turn. And now here we are. So I actually had a very good hand, but did not work out too well for us. I decided to play passively on the turn. I guess that's really the only decision where we could deviate. The deviation, yeah. I think that's the only spot we could deviate, because maybe we can get him to fold like... if we think he's got a lot of like single pair type hands, then he... may very well bet fold them on turn, but I didn't think he was bet folding very often, and I thought we were going to just more likely just build a bigger pot out of position. I think people, I know maybe he doesn't know who I am, maybe he does, but I feel like people kind of correctly in that spot just like, you know, put up their block and shield and don't just give it away to us, and we have to kind of like, he's going to call a lot, and then we're in like weird spots. Well, what are we going to do? We're going to bet all rivers that improve us, obviously, and then a couple more. I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was a great spot against a guy we don't know, but we'll definitely keep an eye on him as the session goes on and see what we can do. One orbit of no hand movements. I feel like there's been some hand movements. It's 9:30 in the morning. The hand movements are going to be a little bit sedated as of right now, you know? I woke up 4 hours ago. I haven't really woke up since, you know, not like really awake since then. So you got to start slow. The hand motions will, you know, this whole thing increase. That's right. I have not watched the new show Helix. That is right. That's right. You can come hang out with us on IRC. I will say this a couple times, but there's 37 people in there right now. We talk about poker, lots of different random things. I pull people from there to play League of Legends normals. If you want to play League of Legends, I'm sure it'll become like the hangout. I was always a big fan of IRC. Like if you're not familiar with what IRC is, it's basically just like an AIM chat room. It's basically this Twitch chat, only lives forever. And when I was getting started in poker, there was a chat room on the same network that was very, very valuable as like a community kind of hub. Everybody talks hands, you post stuff, share information. I thought it was really, really helpful. And I've actually been a part of IRC for like 10 years. So much more so than like Facebook or Twitter. I've always found that IRC has like a good blend of like nonsense and information. So if you want to come hang out, you can come hang out over there. Jay Carver wearing pants is plus 300 right now. I'll have you know I put on pajama pants specifically for this stream. I was debating it, and then I was like, what if I have to get up? What if like the door knocks or something and I'm live on camera? So yes, I am wearing pants. I know what a beat that is. An example from mankind, my sleep schedule. Yeah, I woke up at 5 in the morning. You know what the great thing is about my sleep schedule is that yesterday I woke up, today I woke up at 5 in the morning. The day before that I woke up, which was on Sunday, I didn't wake up on Monday at any time. The day that when I woke up on Sunday, I woke up at 5 p.m. And then I just stayed awake all through the day. Sure, that's what I did yesterday somehow. I don't even understand. Like, I have no comprehension as to what's happening in my sleep schedule, but I'm sleeping really random times. I'm like staying awake for 22 hours, sleeping for 6, staying awake for 30 hours, sleeping for 14. Like, I have no idea what's happening in my sleep schedule, but it's completely all over the place these days. All right. So stay down. Stay down. What a name combination with the Rick Moranis avatar. They got the nerdy black, glasses. Stay down. The Vanderlei Silva name. Oh, what is going on here? All right, well, we got punished for our kind of loose call there. Just saying. Spoiler alert. We have not talked about Hendricks Lawler yet. I'm definitely going to talk about some of these UFC fights, that's for sure. This is an interesting hand. Wow, queens and kings. That could have been played a lot more straightforwardly pre-flop, huh? That hand went The hand went limp by the queens, limp by the kings, raised by El Guapo, small blind call, big blind call, under the gun raise, under the gun +1 re-raise, fold around, call. Okay, sure. Did you hear about how D Moon Girl, Phil Collins, and Dan O'Brien got kicked out of O'Shea's? No? What is that story? I did not hear about that. Somehow I missed that memo. Run up to at Red Rock, never gonna happen. Why do you say that? It very well possibly might happen. Flying penguin. Very unoptimistic penguin, I would say, saying would not happen. We did the first one, January? We've been talking about doing another one for months, and we were supposed to do one in the middle of March, but obviously that's not looking like it's going to happen. But for some reason, we kind of got like shuffled from like, oh, we'll do it at a different casino. And then they were like, okay, and then didn't. And now we're back to maybe who knows what's going on. But yeah, so sorry, distracted by this hand of poker here. I raised the button, got defended by stay down in the small blind over here. Let's see a river card dealer. Okay, we might win. I have a purr. I mean, I have a very bad purr, but I got myself a ace-6. Nice. That's right. We got there, kids. Ship those seven sweet dollars. That's right. Give them the old claw treatment. That's right. Huh? Wow, I did not. That's pretty funny. I did not hear about any of that. Good morning, Narnia. That's right. I don't think like O'Shea's the casino. I think there's like a bar. And as far as I know, Rory, no, I have no idea about anything else that happened that night. So I don't know. Envious Toaster would like to ask, do you think changing your play for a lot less risk to make $100 to $200 a day playing live is a good idea? I've done this for a week and want to know your thoughts. Well, I think that's tough to say. You're making $100, $200 a day playing like a lower variance style. Is that what you're asking? By the way, how nice is this Dear J. Carver style? You just right now. I just see it. It's just great. If you play a lower risk style and it works for you, then that's fine. I think that's a totally viable option. Like if that money is enough to sustain you and you just feel like you can play a more solid ABC poker, you're playing pretty tight, you're not getting involved in too many spots, you're like, you're jabbing and weaving, sticking and weaving, doing your thing. If I like that I'm in like a box in the corner here and you can just like, yeah, that's right. He's dodging in the box. But yeah, I think if you want to do it, that's fine. It's totally up to your own comfort level. Like if you want to make $200 a day and can do it consistently by playing just like strong, solid poker, then go for it. I think that sounds like a totally viable option. I don't know how realistic that is because I think that's like a slightly, I don't know if it's going to say naive, but like I think it's like slightly hard to do. But if it works, then go for it. I think that seems totally fine. Jason, will you tell me how bad I am if I send you a video of a cash session on UP? Yes, probably. Potentially, I just might. You don't know, but I definitely could. All right, betting this river here. Do we have it? I might have had it. I might have had it. You never know. Oh, Victor destroyed Galfond at what? What were they playing? Probably PLO, right? I'm a huge Galfond fan. I think Phil Galfond has impacted my game more than any other video maker, that's for sure. I mean, a lot of the stuff that you guys see in these videos is influenced by how Phil looks at spots and discusses stuff on camera. And discusses like stuff generally. I think he has a very analytical mind, a very analytical thought process, something that really resonated very well with me. You just look at situations and just go, okay, well, what do we know? Let's analyze it, break it down. Like, I really think that his influence was quite impactful, all in all, on me. And the ETA on runup.com, it should be very soon. We dodged it. We had King 7 here. I folded in the big blind on the flop. That could have been a little dirty. But ETA on runup.com, we're working on it. We've got merchandise coming. You guys will be able to just get everything you want. It's going to be amazing. That's right. Everything you want. We're going to load up a genie. That's right. It's coming very, very relatively shortly. I mean, they're waiting on some things from me, which is why it's been so long. And we had an issue with the forums. The forums weren't perfect. I didn't want to rush it out and then have to be like, oh, sorry, guys. Sorry that this stuff isn't working perfectly. So I just waited to do it in line with the store. It's going to be a lovely, beautiful experience that I will hopefully have very little to do with as far as like administrative stuff goes. Because let's be honest, I'm not an administrator in any way. This hand went, I think it was limped around pre-flop, and then I check called against stay down, and now here we are, tournament check, betting on the river. Seems like a reasonable thing. We actually had 3 per. That's right. All of the per. Jay Carver, have you seen the... No, I have not seen whatever that is. Sorry. What's up, Kukwo? How are you? What's going on? I'm wearing green because I have been wearing this shirt, I guess. But you can pretend it's for St. Patrick's Day if you like. That seems fine. Hello from Houston. Hello, Sean Patrick. What's going on? Jay Carver, didn't you ever want to be a mod of Poker in the Rear? The Something Awful forum that I started. I mean, I would have been if they like needed me to, but I wouldn't have been particularly good at it, I don't think. Can't wait to get that Jay Carver swag. That's right. That's right. That's what you might be getting. Okay. Raised it up here. Got 2 defenders in the blinds. This is definitely a kind of flop that no matter what, of all the hands I'm opening here, I'm checking back here a lot. This is a pretty scarily connected board. It's very likely to hit with one of these 2 guys. I'm going to check back here with a whole variety of ace highs and king highs and pocket pairs that I'm giving up on, stuff like that. Stream is frozen. It's not frozen on my side, so I think it's on you guys. I can still... Wow, I'm surprised at how far behind we are on the actual stream, but okay. Cheers from Portugal. What's up? How's it going? Antero Neves. Something like that. What's going on? How you doing here in Portugal? Yeah, it's not frozen for me, so I have a feeling it's frozen for you guys. So sorry about that. Wow, 187 people with no notice stream. I'm proud of you Europeans, you just made it happen. You said, all right, Tuesday, no, whatever time it is over there, that's it, doing it. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Raising it up here under the gun. What do we have? I can't tell you. A hand good enough to raise under the gun. They don't think so, apparently. Off to the flop we go. 4-handed here. I think we're going to start this one off with a check. This guy checks very quickly behind us, so I would be doubtful that he has very much. And now we just fold. That's right. Finally delivered something for the poor UK run-up warriors over there. I've given some things to the run-up warriors before. We had our UK run-up warrior from Leeds come visit and do the UFC event 167 Hendricks GSP, which we'll talk about Hendricks Lawler in just a moment. But yeah, that's right. Duo partner for solo queue for ranked in NA or EU. I'm almost plat. I'm very proud of that. I didn't even mean to rhyme that. But yeah, almost plat. We're at gold 1. Ideal stream time for you, huh? Ideal stream time. Well, I could definitely do this more often, although I'm not sure how often. But I like the idea of doing like two of these like longer streams a week, and then doing like a short video, maybe a hangout, something like that, as like part of your weekly run it up sustenance, your weekly run it up bean collection, it's not a collection, obviously, it's like a supply, something like that. Will I be doing any giveaways during this stream? I just might. I have some things that are sitting around my desk that I would not mind giving away, but I hadn't planned on it. But maybe I'll just give away things off my desk. I'll just give away things I have sitting around my desk. It's possible. Maybe it'll happen. Sup, J Cards? What's up, Bazooka Jane? Just wondering when I can come sweat you at Maryland Live, since I live in DC and shit. I'm not sure exactly what my plans are as far as when I'm arriving and all of that, but I think I'm not sure if I'm playing the tournament or not yet, because there's like a tournament this Friday, Saturday. I don't think I'm gonna be there on Friday, but I might play the tournament on Saturday, and then there's like a TV cash game I'm playing on Monday. It'll be a lot of fun, actually. I think it's my first ever televised cash game, although I'm not really sure what the television deal is that they have. It'll be my first TV cash game, I think. I'm not sure if you can sweat that or not, to be honest with you. If I play the tournament, then you can definitely sweat that, although I would say that, I don't really know how fun that would be to sweat day one, but yeah, I'm not sure if you can sweat on the cash game. Yo, Jay, you coming to Borgata next month for the WPT? Yes, probably. I feel like I will. I mean, it's going to be a great tournament. It's going to be so much fun. It's a 15K, high stakes, in my home relative tri-state region. I got to play. This is not my first live cash session. Oh, sorry. I know you were joking. I was like, no, sorry. How many times did I go busto before gaining momentum, J Carves? You mean in my actual poker life? Well, when I started out playing free rolls, I very often would win $1 free roll and then lose the dollar. But you couldn't play for half a cent, 1 cent. You know what I mean? There was no appropriate bankroll stakes to play, so you'd have to take a shot. You get $1 in your free roll account or your $1 in your account, you have to play $1 sit and go. So going broke was not that hard. Once I hit that $5, then that stuck. But I had hit a couple of times. I had hit smaller scores or similar scores even, I would say, and yeah. So it definitely happened a little bit in the beginning. Am I playing the next Deep Stacks at Venetian? No, probably not. I was thinking about playing the last time they were running them, but I feel like I don't really think supporting Venetian is the best thing. I mean, I don't really think it makes a huge deal or makes a big impact. I mean, you're obviously not single-handedly supporting Sheldon Adelson or anything, but what is he? What does it really matter? Not very much. But I kind of feel like for me, I'm not gonna be doing that. So yeah, I am hiding cards. We're streaming live no hole cards on Twitch. If you guys want to see what I'm folding, playing, and bluffing with, it'll be up on YouTube later. I'm recording it with no hole cards. I'm recording it with hole cards for YouTube, no hole cards here on Twitch. Our bankroll is at $815 plus this $32 in profit right here, right now. So we've been getting slapped around a little bit, but we're doing some work. I think these long streams will be great. We'll do great for this kind of stuff. So great for this kind of repair healage. So what's the cash game? I think the cash game is 25.50, no limit Texas Hold'em, something like that. Jay Carver, any word on Daniel being in some vids? I assume you mean Negreanu and don't mean O'Brien. But I don't have any super upcoming word, but I'm pretty sure he's not traveling anywhere for the next month or so, up until probably Borgata. So if he's around, I think I would like to try to have him on. Run it up. We're in for $50 right now. When will he be at Maryland Live? I'll probably be there on this Saturday to play the tournament, and then I'll be there for a couple days. Would love to hang out with you guys that are in the area. Maybe we can do I've never been there before, so I'm not sure what their rules are, but maybe they can make us a 1-2 table or something we can sit at and all play together, or do some sort of a sit and go thing. I'm not really sure. I have no pull. I have 0 pull, but maybe we can make something happen. That could be pretty awesome. I have heard Daniel's been working out quite a lot lately. Beasting up at the gym, as you say. I don't know if I would say that, but you can say it. I guess it's fine if you think so. Hello, Airball Can. How long am I streaming for? I don't have a plan. I'm just going to hang out and see how it goes. Probably at least for another hour or so. Maybe longer. Maybe much longer. Maybe the stream never ends. Maybe we just stream forever. We'd have to change to League of Legends or something eventually. But, hey, maybe forever. Hello from Sweden. Hello, Tobanks. Welcome. He's the most ripped vegan I've ever seen. I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe. Hey, Parting the Sea. Perfect. I'm glad you UK Run Up Warriors have finally been delivered the glory that you deserve with a live stream meant for you. Would you ever come to EPT London? I've come several times to EPT London before. It's actually probably one of my favorite stops in the EPT, which is kind of a joke because I've only done Monte Carlo and London. But I loved it. I thought it was great. I had a good time every time that I went. It was awesome. I actually did some exploring in London when I was there. And by exploring, I mean I thought I could walk back from the wherever the old casino was for WSOP Europe. It was in like the Empire or something, right? In Leicester Square, is that right? Something like that. And I was like, oh, I'll just walk back to the hotel from here. It was like 22 blocks. And at some point it became really dark. And I got a little scared, and I was like, okay, I need to call a cab now. And that was it. But it was like pretty far, and I wasn't really walking in the right direction. And it was like 1 in the morning. It was after a full day of play. So that was my experience. I enjoyed it though. It was fun. I enjoyed the city. Everyone in London is great. I've always had a good time there. Yeah, it is the Empire, right? Fold. El Guapo gets called by Stay Down very quickly. If I was here to make the most money I would possibly make, I'd really like to keep an eye on this guy's timing. Now, he might be watching us, so I could be giving this away right now by even saying this, but I'm going to assume he's not watching us, and just even if he is, who cares? But I would say that his timing seems very interesting as far as like he checked here every street very fast. He called here very, very fast, and he called river and lost to a flush. So we don't know what he has on Ultimate Poker. Unfortunately, we can't find that out. But I would guess that he had something that was pretty good. Where's El Guapo's stream? That's right. I'd love to see it. Twitch.com/El Guapo, please. I'll retire from streaming. We can all just learn from the master, Mr. El Guapo here. Let's talk about the UFC event over the weekend. I thought it was one of the best UFC events we've had this year. Really fun card. There were some really good fights. I think the low point for me was Carlos Condit getting his knee, hurt by Tyron. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm a huge Carlos Condit fan, so that was kind of not fun to see. And as the only real injury I've ever acquired in my life was dislocating my knee, so watching, there's the shout out for you guys. El Guapo shouts out for you guys. So yeah, that wasn't too particularly fun to see. I don't know how I feel about the fact that like some people were like, oh, he didn't really win, and Tyron and others are like, well, I caused him to hurt his knee. So, but I don't know, man, because it started off on a takedown. A takedown's not designed to hurt his knee. Like he got lucky that in a takedown he hurt Condit's leg, and then obviously was able to finish from there. But I don't know. I mean, I definitely think that Tyron was going to win that fight pretty often. I mean, he had won the first round almost for sure. He had won the second round up to the point they stopped the fight. So I think Woodley looked great. He seemed like he had the right plan. I mean, man, Condit ate some ridiculous punches. If you haven't seen that fight, I mean, Tyron Woodley hits hard, and he hit Condit, like, I would say, 6 times with those massive, massive punches, and Condit somehow, like, ate them all and was just like, oh, okay. Time to keep fighting. It was really crazy. Really crazy. I thought that Condit's chin is incredible. Great win for Woodley, but I was sad to see Condit. And the main event, what a fight that was. What a fight that was. I don't know if you've heard yet, but just 4 of a kind, no big deal. Hendricks' elbow was supposedly hurt in training the week before, or a week and a half before, to the point where he was actually considering pulling out of the fight. So it was kind of amazing to hear that he had hurt it again in the first round and was still able to do as well as he did. But coin flip for 36K with El Guapo like I did with Antonio. Hey, why not? Let's flip some coins. Sure, no big deal. Good morning, J Carbs from SoCal. Good morning, SoCalvius Smithtown. Oh, I understand now. Sorry, all underscore letters didn't hit. Now I understand. We're like cousins. That's right. I don't want to play music because I'm planning on recording for YouTube, obviously, and that makes the Germans upset. I can't let the Germans be mad at me, so we're not streaming any music because it will block for the UK and Germany, and it's all right. We'll just fill it up with Dear J Carvers and such. I'm like absolutely shocked at the viewership for this, by the way. Thanks for hanging out, guys. 226 people live. No announcement at 9 in the morning my time. Is pretty awesome. So, I don't know what's going on here. People are getting mad in chat at each other, and I wasn't really watching. But man, what a good fight that was. Hendricks and Lawler. I mean, what a monster Lawler is. So great to see. Robbie Lawler is one of those first fighters that I watched back when I got into the UFC like years and years ago. And there is no fight that I'd like to see more than than Lawler Diaz. Please. All I want for Christmas this year, Uncle Lorenzo, please. Everyone should pray to Phil Hellmuth that we can see Diaz Lawler 2 at some point later this year. How great would that be? I think that would be pretty amazing. Thanks, Knob37. Appreciate that. The Germans will ban your account. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Bellagio or Golden Nugget played in either. I've never played the Golden Nugget. Bellagio is I have played several times before. We were waiting since yesterday. That's why we're all here. I appreciate that. You know, I like the schedule though, where we do one and then sometimes just a 6 card straight flush. 6 cards straight flush. No big deal. All right, sure. Wow, very nitty fold here under the gun. Very nitty fold. You guys, I can't tell you more than just that. But on YouTube, you guys are like, wow. The YouTube crowd is just shocked right now. I love this praying to Phil Hellmuth. Oh yeah, as Sean has posted here, great instructions on how to download an IRC chat and then come hang out with us. We're in IRC, Sin IRC is the network you can hang out with us 24/7. Hashtag run it up. Channel is run it up. That's even better. If you can't stand Diaz, Rory says he can't stand Diaz. It's great. Who cares? If you can't stand Diaz, let's have him fight Lawler. That's fine. I'm not even thinking it's a very good fight for Nick. Like, I think it's actually a very losable fight for Diaz in that fight. Like, that's I think Nick will be a slight favorite, but man, I mean, Lawler is pretty beastly, and we know what to expect from Nick. We know what to expect from Lawler. I think that would be just an amazing fight. Never awake at this time. What's up, Seth? Welcome. Big hands coming out already. Huge hands. Good morning, Mr. Royal. How long will I be streaming for tonight? I will probably be streaming for at least another hour, maybe a little bit longer than that. We will see. Off to the river we go here. Pretty sure this was a limped pot, if my brain does not deceive me. Jason, do you know who else is playing in the 25-50 game on TV? I don't know exactly, but I think D Moon Girl is flying out there with us. And I think Greg Merson and Charter might be in those games. Just kind of a weird hand. He limped under the gun. I think I'm going to pay it off here. We have a pretty good hand. I have an 8. Flush and a pair. I couldn't even beat the pair. I mean, I guess I could have folded the river for more, but information, that's the whole benefit of playing these long sessions. It's like, okay, sometimes we win and we get information either way. I don't know if Nick would be like a big favorite, but I kind of feel like I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Lawler's takedown defense was really good against Hendricks. Not sure how to evaluate the elbow injury as part of that. Was he not able to get takedowns because of his elbow being messed up? Because if that was the case, then Lawler's takedown defense doesn't look as amazing. But Lawler's takedown defense was perfect for 4 rounds, and I would never have thought that was the case. Never thought that was the case. My thoughts on Jake Shields. I almost had to turn that fight off. He was one of the worst striking games in the UFC. Well, it's funny. I actually have heard several fighters say that Jake Shields has underrated stand-up, but I don't know if you could say that based on that performance. He didn't do anything standing up. I don't think he threw 1 strike standing, did he? I don't believe he did. So I thought that fight was not great. Obviously, it was not amazing, but Shields did. I thought it was a good performance by Lombard, a tough guy to look good against, like he said. How Jake Shields does not make anybody look great. Jake Shields has that great style. Whoa, Jay Carver has a beard. That's right. The laziness beard has become an actual decision, apparently. So we're back to bearded up again for the time being. How much did I buy in for? I'm in for $50. We're currently up 23 and change, plus the 550, I guess. Miles Jury looked absolutely great. That was the only bet that I made, actually, was on Miles Jury against... I bet Miles Jury against Diego. I kind of just felt like... I kind of am not a big fan of Diego from a sports betting point of view. I just don't feel like he just... I just don't think he gets it done often enough. I mean, his style is really great for watching, but... Oh. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to need a king here. Otherwise, we're back down to even. Or a 6. A 6 seems fair as well. Not quite. All right. Nothing we can do about that, obviously. I think I'm gonna play the main event on Saturday, and then the cash game is actually after that, Russ. So I think I'm planning on playing that tournament on Saturday, and then sticking around for the cash game, which I think is on Monday. But I'm not going to be around for too much longer than that, so I'm probably only going to be around for like Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Jay Carver, what are your thoughts on this year's main event being first place, having the first place guaranteed? I think it's absolutely meaningless. It's absolutely meaningless. I mean, I understand why they did it, but I don't believe that there are going to be too many people who are going to be like, what's the first place in the main event? $10 million? All right, I guess it's worth it. $9.5 million? I'll stay in bed. Like, I don't really think that that's ever going to happen. So it's clearly like a bit of a marketing ploy. I don't think it's going to be very effective. I think it gives them an opportunity to have like weird issues come about where, like, let's say they get less people than normal. Like if they get substantially less people than normal, or even just somewhat less people than normal, then it makes the payouts like very top heavy, because now first place is 10 million and second place is going to be what, like they're going to have to adjust their payout structure in some way if they don't get the right number of people. So, I mean, I think I'm not a big fan of it, but I really think it's pretty near irrelevant all in all. Like, I don't predict that it's going to make much of a difference, to be honest. $4.50. Don't think we're winning this hand. We did river a flush draw. But, yeah, don't think that hand's going to fold. Guess we could have bet on turn and get that hand specifically to fold. But I thought when he checked back on turn, he had more often was going to have like a 4-5, pocket fives, like a low pair kind of a hand. And obviously ace is really good for us, less good for him. But obviously in that particular instance was not going to be a spot where we were going to win. So stay down, limped under the gun. We checked in the big blind. What's up, Josh? What's the best strategy for day one? Survive. Those who survive are the champions of day one. That's all you got to know when you're playing the main event, is you just got to get through it. Every day you get through, you should be happy about. In my like deepest runs, there were days that I just broke even, and it's fine. There were days I lost chips, actually, I'm sure. But all you really want to do is survive every day. You can survive every day, you're doing good, Sometimes there'll be days where you're going to be at tough tables, and the best thing you can do is break even, and that's just fine. I think that's like more than fine in some instances. Now, eventually there'll be times where you have to just accumulate chips, but the main event is a very weird beast, I mean, I was lucky enough to have a big stack a couple years ago for like several days, and it's just like it's an amazing tournament. It's an amazing experience. I would tell you to really try to enjoy it and to not treat it like any other poker tournament. It's like a poker tournament that is the slowest experience you've ever had in your life. So I would highly encourage you to just focus on playing well. Don't feel any pressure. As long as you're in there with like 20 big blinds or more, you're fine. Just relax. You'll do all right. Levels are 2 hours in the main event, yeah. So they do 5 2-hour levels per day. Hello from Belgium. Hello from Las Vegas. What's up, Sariol? Exactly. Those who arrive survive. Exactly like The Walking Dead. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is make it through the day. What's up, AP Jennings? Thank you for streaming at a social UK time. I'm happy to do it. Glad you guys enjoyed this stuff. Glad you guys enjoyed the early stream. El Guapo making his appearance. I have thought about putting a delay on, but I honestly just don't really like having delays because the best part about doing the streams is that we have a conversation about it. If you don't like the delay, you can watch on YouTube later. We're going to have all of these hands posted, all of this, okay, words are difficult. This entire session is going to be posted on YouTube later tonight with Hull cards. So you can just watch it there if you really want. So that seems fine. Jason, have you ever smoked weed? Of course. Come on. Yeah, come on. It's 2014. It's like definitely, clearly better than alcohol for you. Very much clearly so, in my opinion. So all you UK, all you UK Roundup warriors, within the last week, I binge watched the entire In-Betweeners, and now I feel like I know what you've all been through. Now I feel like I know what it's like to be a British high schooler or whatever you guys call it over there. I really enjoyed it all in all. I thought it was pretty good. Not like always for me, but pretty good all in all, I thought. In this hand, I raised, stay down, called on the button. I bet flop, he called. And now here we are on the river. Pretty scary board all in all for everybody always. I think I'm going to start with a check. I have a queen. I don't think we're winning. Oh, chop it up. I mean, obviously I could have won that pot on the river if I had bluffed, or on the turn if I had bet. But I didn't feel too good about it. Warwickshire. That's right. I know I'm not saying it right, but I don't even care. I love it. It's good. Yes, I have seen that Mikey W. repeating a line from the show. Stream covered YouTube cards. Yeah, I thought that was the best way to do it. I mean, if you want to watch just with whole cards, that's great. You can watch on YouTube. If you want to interact as we go, you can watch live. If you want to sweat every dollar of the Run It Up journey, well, you can just hang out and watch it live. That's the whole idea. Dear J. Carver, can you tell me what type of poker I should play, cash or sit and go with $10? Which one is the best choice in your opinion? Well, with $10, you're going to have to be playing something with short bankroll, right? Because you're not going to have enough money to play sit and goes or cash. So I would say you should play whatever you enjoy to play the most. And if that's basically the same, then whatever you're best at. And if that's basically the same, then sit and goes, I guess, but it really doesn't matter. Like, I think people make a mistake about the fact that they're like, oh, what should I pick, sit and goes or cash or tournaments, which is the best? Do what you want. You know? Do what you want. You make your own decisions. It's not up to me to tell you. Hey, pay that man. What's up? How many years have I played poker for? I have played poker I'm 26 now, and I started playing poker when I was 16, barely turning 17, or 15 turning 16, about 16. So 10 years I've been playing poker for. I know, I'm old. That's crazy. You can tell I have a beard. That's how you can tell I'm old. I started growing this beard 10 years ago. This is where I'm at right now. Huh? Do I play Battlefield? No, I'm not a big fan of shooters, generally speaking. In my opinion, it's good to choose one form of poker to be good at. I think that's a very reasonable opinion, but I disagree. I actually think that when I used to coach people, my focus would be on teaching general no limit, because if you understand poker and you understand general no limit hold'em theory, when you look at poker from that perspective, I feel like, I guess we can reload for the extra $12. I feel like when you look at poker through the lens of general poker understanding, general poker theory, trying to just learn and understand general situations that you can then adapt to sit and goes, cash games, whatever. Like if you have an understanding of why you should do everything, then you can adapt, right? So the reason why you should min raise in tournaments on the button is because people fold a lot out of the blinds and there are antes. So instead of saying, okay, well, we're going to learn tournament poker and learn about attacking and trying to win the blinds and antes, instead, I'd rather teach you about why the antes make such a big difference in terms of why you should play for them. Then you're playing in a cash game situation where all of a sudden somebody posts, he posts in the cutoff for, a big blind. Well, how much does his post impact your opening range? Well, if you've studied these things that we've talked about, generally speaking, you should be able to kind of realize that pretty quickly, or at least come to close enough to the right decision. So I've always looked at the idea of, if you're trying to really make somebody as good as possible at poker, that the best thing you should do at No Limit Hold'em, even the best thing you should do is to teach No Limit Hold'em theory and then adapt that to different situations in practice and go from there. Is League of Legends free to play? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. After watching countless hours of your YouTube videos, I've decided to become a real run-it-up warrior. I guess that's the only way. I guess the only way to do that is to be here live. That's probably true. Good to see you, Jay Carver. Good to see you, Mr. Potato Head. Welcome to the stream. First ever, baby's first live stream. Will you be playing Heroes of the Storm? I'll definitely try it. I'm not sure if I'll make the jump, but I'll definitely at least try it out. Yeah, I don't think you should, at the very beginning, you should definitely not jump form to form to form. If you want to, though, I still think it's fine. But I think that in the beginning, you should probably pick one and get better at it. But generally speaking, like if you have a coach who can guide you along the way, then I think it's fine. All right, I guess we're going to just fold this one here. I tried. I attacked, didn't work. He said, no, Jay Carver. Okay, enjoy the $3. Get yourself something nice. I let someone steal your username. I didn't do nothing. Get out of here with these accusations. I've never applied my karate to a poker student. No, never punched Russ in the face for a bad decision or anything like that. Terrible fold on the button. No, don't think that ever happened. But if it did, I don't know if I would tell you. Anyway, will you be watching the World Cup this year? Nope, probably not. Not a big fan of soccer, football, etc. Do I still play Magic? I actually have not played Magic since Born of the Gods came out. I was really excited about it and played a bunch when it first came out, but I haven't had the time really to play it since then. And I really just haven't played, I guess. I was thinking the other day why I haven't played, but I don't really have a good reason for you. Oh, thanks, Oglen. Appreciate that. Do I play poker for a living? I did for many years, but I back in July of last year, I moved to Vegas from New York. I moved to Vegas from New York to do work with Ultimate Poker. It's great. I get to build poker in America. I gave up the gamble every week for basically I wouldn't call it a working job, but it's kind of like that. I have responsibilities. I have to do things. And as part of it, I suggested that I would do Run It Up, and that's how we are here, I guess, 9 months later. 9 months later. Heading to Vegas next week. Any chance I can get you to sign my spare leprechaun hat? There's certainly a chance. There's always a chance. Tweet me or something, probably your best bet, something like that. And yeah, might be able to make that happen. What's the time in Vegas right now? 10 in the morning. Poker player schedule, this is not. Poker player schedule, this is not. It's the Gustafsson beard. That's right. It's the Gustafsson beard. Did you guys see that fight over on Fight Pass? That was pretty sweet, I thought. I'm a big fan of the Gustafsson. That's right. 9 months. It's we had a poker baby together. That's right. It didn't come out exactly as we hoped. We thought it would be more than it is, but we have something. We had 50 when we started. We do have, 850 now. That's a thing, I guess. Dear Jay Carver, good morning. Dear Arseny, good morning to you as well. RunUp.com should be coming very soon. I definitely underestimated how much time that would take to get everything together, and I wasn't happy with the forums they had built, and so we had to kind of do that again. I turn 21 next year, and I'm itching to hit up Vegas. Itching. What casinos would you recommend for a young warrior like me to hit up? Well, obviously it depends on your budget slightly, but I would say you can't miss the Cosmopolitan is probably the nicest casino here in Vegas these days. Aria is my personal favorite. I've been loving the Aria buffet, by the way, my new favorite place to eat. Aria, Cosmopolitan, Bellagio is pretty sweet. Depends what you like, I guess. But I'm a big fan of Aria, probably above the rest of them. Depends what you want to do. I don't do anything, really. And by really, I mean ever. So, yeah, I don't know. Lamest thing ever, closing the Legion home game down. Oh, I have nothing to do with that. Jay Carver, can you please just try to say my name? Who are you, Beyonce? Sezaman. That seems pretty close. I gotta be in the ballpark, right? I'm sure you're gonna win a bracelet this year, Jason. Well, thank you. I don't know about sure, but I'm gonna try. When will you book my bet that you'll run it down to 0 before you run up to 10K? I mean, I'll take that bet, of course. How much are we betting? Gucci Chan, that's right. My old friend, Gucci Chan. What's up? Made it to stream finally. Thanks for being awesome. Greetings from Latvia. Hello, Latvia. Nick. Or something like that. Sorry, tricky J letters. It always gets you. It gets these boorish Americans, you know? Alright, so I min-raised here. Mad Riverfish re-raised, and we called. So, like I said, I've been watching you for some time now. Should I be playing as hyper-aggressive as you do? No, I definitely don't think you should be playing as hyper-aggressive as me, because if you're a new player, that's going to get you into trouble. Like, I can get away with these things sometimes, but it's not really great. And once people kind of know, you really kind of have to play more normally anyway. So you should definitely fold a lot of these. If you're going to play weak marginal hand, you want to be the one that's the aggressor, not usually the defender, although sometimes you just can't help it. Call, I suppose. So I made it $1. I made it $1. This guy re-raised. We called. He bet flop. We called. He bet turn. We called. And now here we are on the river. I don't think it gives away our hand too much to say that I'm not really sure what to make of this as far as what he has, because you'd think he would be scared of the diamond a little bit. Just saying. I have a full house. All right. We did it. Oh, yeah. Well, let's cover. I don't want to give away, but you know. Yes, that's right. The guy in chat says, Raffle, you got played. That's not nice. That's not nice. That is not very nice. Uncle Lorenzo would say, check out Station Casinos. The best casinos here in Las Vegas. Yes, that's right. The poker pro doing my job for me. Yes. Yes, we finally did it. That's right. I was going to go like this and cover up the fact that I had a full house, but never got a chance to. Ring the bink bell. Oh, don't worry. It's coming. It's coming. You just haven't heard it yet. Have I ever thought of selling pieces to the Run-Up Warriors, Jason? Well, I've never had to sell pieces really to anything, actually, besides like the 100Ks. But I wouldn't be down. I would be down to give away pieces. That seems easier. Once you sell pieces, you have to collect. It's a whole process. You know, I can't be bothered with all of that. The problem with cashing and selling action is like, let's say I gave away. I will answer your question. You're dismissed. I did want to answer it before, but I forgot. But the problem with selling pieces is like, okay, so I sell 50 pieces to all you guys, and it's great and it's lovely, and then I cash for like, you know, a minimum cash, and I have to send out 50 different wires to 50 different people for like the sum total of $1,000, and I really, 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 really do not want to do that. So I don't mind like giving away pieces to people for some reason or another. I just have to figure out how to do it. I go like, oh, okay, you guys share videos, then I'll give you a piece, something like that. I got to figure out how exactly to set that all up, but I'll definitely be up for something like that. Hey, Jason, dearest salutations from a Belgian guy living in Sweden. Oh, you're an adopted Swedish warrior, much like myself. I'm going to retire to Sweden when this is all over. I'm going to first move in Leeds, because I got to live in Leeds for a couple years, and then moving to Sweden. That's right. No, it's all right. Repeat away. The way that this chat goes, repeating certainly is fine. The worst decision that I've ever made while on tilt. Well, the worst decision that I've ever made while on poker tilt. I mean, I'm sure I've punted. I'm sure I've punted at some point in my life pretty hard in some arena or another. Like I can't particularly recall one at the moment. Life-wise, I'm sure I'm sure there are some like super tilty thing. I'm trying to think of like what would be like the worst example. Like, I think of some bad examples, but I can't really think of like, oh, I shouldn't have done that as I lose like $1 billion. Maybe with like sports betting, prop bets, side bets. It's got to be something like that where somebody like challenged me to a thing and I was like, you got it, and then lost. I mean, I think I had a Raz last longer against... No, I don't think that was too tilty. I felt like I was a favorite, actually, at the time. I don't know. I'll have to think about it and get back to you. The Antonio flip? Nah, I don't regret that. It's flipping. How big of a regret can it be? Oh, yeah. That's, I don't know if anybody asked that question, but that was a cool video, Wookie Way. Thanks for pimping the video out. The Poker Pro asks... Would you be open to doing another documentary-style video thing like The Final Table? Pains me to fold this. That wasn't tilted. I was very happy to flip. It's only common courtesy, you know? If you guys aren't in the poker world, like, you know, as I am, it's only common courtesy that if you win money off a guy like that and he asks to flip, you gotta say yes. It's like saying God bless you when someone sneezes. You know, you gotta flip once and then twice if they're really desperate. And I felt like it was, you know, I felt like if I said no, we hurt our friendship and it wasn't gonna be good. But I say yes, and either I win and then I quit because, you know, two flips is fine, or I lose and then Antonio loves me forever, and that's what happened. So it worked out. I felt like I couldn't lose really one way or the other. What's the longest live cash game I've ever played? Probably right around 24 hours, I would say, something like that. Talked about that game before. Lost, also the most I've ever lost in my life before. It was pretty tilty to buy that car to get back at your ex-girlfriend. Yes. I don't know, again, if that was tilty either. That was just, like, vengeful, Jay Carver. That was just like, fuck this girl not wanting to take me back after I broke up with her the day before. And then I just, you know, wanted to prove to her that she made a mistake, I guess. And I don't know. My family tree has many burnt marks on it. Of like, you know, where we just torch friendships and stuff, as that's what we do in my family, I guess. There's a big level of like passive aggressiveness, and so I guess it's kind of like par for the course. What's the highest stakes I've ever played? I've played pretty high stakes. The highest stakes no limit hold'em I've ever played is 300, 600 online, 150, 300 live. And then the highest general poker game stake I ever played was 2,000 a point Taiwanese, something like that. I actually did hear about that multi-boxing, that if you flip, you should always flip for heads, but it wasn't a normal coin. It was a weird coin. But yeah, maybe that's still correct, that heads hits more often than tails because of the weight distribution. But it's probably not much, right? It was only like a small percentage difference, but obviously you're still flipping for tons of money, so you should always pick heads if you have a small edge. But yeah. Rory knows what's up. Tilty to lose money to me on Qantas Tetris. That's right. Peter Binklage. That's right. One of the best names ever. Back in the day, here's the story with that. Back in the day, my friend Leo won future World Series of Poker heads-up champion Leo Walpert. That's right. He won a package to go to Australia to play Aussie Millions, and he had, I guess it was a trip for two, and somehow I convinced him to take me with him. So we fly from LA to Melbourne on this Qantas flight right behind Ali Najad, who got to like kind of sweat what we were doing a little bit, at least a little bit. And we were gambling on, there was like a Tetris game somehow embedded in the thing. And so the flight was free for me. But I don't recall exactly how, but by the time we had landed, I believe I lost $2,000 to Leo in Qantas Tetris. Which was a little silly. It was a little silly. Back in the day, I had too much money and not enough patience. So that was it. That's what we did. And the flight was free, but, you know, not really, I guess. Good times, though, all around. Let's read these in shortest order. Am I going to play the one drop? Maybe. I have a much better chance of playing this year than I did any other year, which I guess just means the first year. I mean, I played the 100K last year. That was fine. But that's right, Tetris Pro. So yeah, maybe the one drop. We'll see what Uncle Lorenzo has to say. Mia asks, Jason, if you could relive your life, would you rather be an ultimate fighter swinging in the cages, or would you still choose to put people in cages in poker? I would definitely choose to put people in cages in poker, because I don't think I would make nearly as much money as an ultimate fighter. I mean, I wonder, like, it'd be interesting to find out, like, the amount of money that I've made in my life, what level of fighter you would have to be to have earned a similar amount of income over the course of my career. Like, it'd be interesting to find out for me if I had earned as much as, like, say, Tito Ortiz, which I don't think I have. I think Tito's probably made more money than me, but I don't know. It'd be funny to find out and just be like, okay, so let's say it was Tito. I'd only have to go through like 37 fights, 92 surgeries. Like, you know, it's such a harder life for so much less money on the average. Never mind, like, even on like the top part. I actually have tried. I tried one time to smoke wax. I have no real opinion. I don't think it was really. I don't think I consumed it correctly or something. Do I like fighting games? I don't dislike fighting games, but I haven't played too often. What are your thoughts on WPT's Alpha 8? If people want to play 100Ks and basically flip coins for billions of dollars, then sure. I think. You think Carwin made a similar amount of money to me? I don't know, man. I don't know if that's true. I would be surprised if Shane Carwin made the amount of money that I've made in my poker career at fighting. You know, Shane Carwin only has, like 8 or 9 fights. They weren't all, like, major events. I mean, I would be a little surprised if that was true. Do I have any interest in improving my mixed games? I hear the mixed games at the World Series are the best cash games. The mixed games actually that run year-round, they actually have a game at Aria that I've been invited to, but it's like, I could actually get my phone if you want me to tell you what the actual mix is, because it's like a very bizarre mix. I don't know where my phone even is right now. But, I don't really care. But the game that they invited me to play like a few weeks ago at Aria, maybe it was like a month ago, they invited me to play, it was Ace to 5 triple draw, I think. Or maybe it was even like pot limit. But it was like Ace to 5 triple, it was Ace to 5 draw, PLO, Badoogie, Badacy, and then like Raz, some weird variant of Raz. If I played in that lineup without like people that were like literally unable to read their cards, I would be such a huge dog. I'd be an enormous dog. I mean, I'd be a huge underdog to win in that lineup. That's a super scary mix for a guy like me. I've never played like half of those games. Who would be your MMA nickname? I don't know. I mean, Jake Carver doesn't sound scary. You know, it'd have to be something scarier than that. I don't know. I have no idea. The game is awesome, but, you know, it's very high stakes. It's like, you know, 100, 200 or higher. I think they usually play 3-6, something like that. When's the last time that I've seen Dawn? I assume you mean Dwan. The last time I saw Tom, maybe like 3 months ago? 4 months ago, something like that. Jason the Cage Carver. I don't know. Yeah, Jason Tony Clarino. I don't think that works either. I've been streaming for 90 minutes, something like that. What's up, Samplefish 3? Streaming for about 90 minutes. Feeling good, so not planning on stopping. Do I know John Robert? I had dinner with John Robert a couple years ago, and then he has not been a friend of mine since then. Not really sure what's happened there. I like John Robert. I am a fan of his. I'm a fan of his Survivor performance. I think he's hilarious in many regards, but I don't think he likes me for some reason. I'm just saying. I don't know why. I just don't think he is a big fan of mine. 8-hour stream? I don't know if we'll do an 8-hour stream, but we'll be at least streaming for a little bit longer. But as far as your question goes, do I have any interest in improving? My mixed games are terrible. I mean, like at one point in my life, they weren't as terrible, but they certainly are terrible at this point. I haven't played Stud, Vraz, 08, or Limit Hold'em in forever. I mean, I enjoy playing those games, and when I had access online to play those games, I would play pretty often. I mean, I played at one point 250, 500 PLO no limit and 50, 100 mix, or other way around. It's 50, 100 limit, 50, 100 no limit PLO, and then 250, 500 limit games. I played that. I played 3-6. I played 4-8, 8 game on Stars back in the day. I mean, I was a fish for sure in all of these games. But I enjoyed it. It's fun. I always played whatever. I didn't care. Let's play, learn, have fun, experience, absorb. All these words. It's true. Who cares? You can always get more money somehow, some way. Who do I think is the best tournament no limit player in the world? One of the Germans, or maybe Daniel. I gotta say, Negreanu gets it done, man. He gets it done. We actually have most likely. Of all the conversations I've had with Daniel in the last few years, almost all of them have not been poker related. I mean, they were at some point poker related, but almost all of them are not poker related. So I don't have like a great insight into his game these days, but I would say that his results speak for themselves. I mean, Negreanu just gets it done all the time. I'm not really sure how you can possibly not appreciate or pick him as, I mean, he's just got fantastic results consistently against the toughest fields in the world. I don't know how you don't pick him as the greatest in the world these days, but I'm a big fan of both Tobias and Phil Gruesome. Both of those guys I think are elite. So this hand actually had a very surprising hand. I had 3 of a kind, I know. The hand was actually really weird because we almost never do that, but I kind of felt like doing something a little bit different. Feels Good Man led. I called. Both guys called behind us, which I wasn't really thrilled about. I didn't really want to raise flop because I thought it kind of would give away the strength of our hand. It would give us away as strong. I thought there was a chance that one of these guys would kind of freak out behind us and do something aggressive. And there are scary turn cards for us. Any 4, 5, or a diamond is scary, but it's not too scary. We're probably going to just stick around and call and try to see a river anyway. So, okay, let's see more of these questions here. Lots of questions here. Does YouTube pay for the views or subscribers of your channel? No. I could run ads and make like $500 a month, but I do this for fun. We do this to hang out and do whatever, But I mean, the run it up and all the videos and stuff and all the stuff is mine, my idea. Nobody makes me do anything. Thankfully, nobody demands me to make videos or anything. Like Ultimate Poker was never like, oh, make these run it up videos for the next 9 months. No, this has always been my decision, my desire, and all of that. Let's see. What do I think about Ivy being tagged as number 1 player? Well, number 1 player in poker generally, that definitely could be true. I mean, I can't evaluate his mixed games because I'm a fish at mixed games myself. But I would say that Ivy has made more money at poker than most of you will ever know, as far as like ever hear about. I mean, he just crushes it. He just destroys it, and he is impossibly hard to play against. Has an amazing live presence. There is nobody that is like him when it comes to his table presence. Like I can't even think of somebody else who I would think back and be like, wow, that was very similar to Ivy. Actually, it's probably like Antonius kind of used to be able to do it. I played with him a couple times. He's scary, but not as scary. So yeah, I don't know. I don't feel really qualified to say general poker player, but yeah. We could run up to 10K through YouTube ads. Hey, might have to do that. That's true. If somebody offered you to take a bet, oh, we win the spot. King high. If somebody offered you to take a bet, you have to pick 5 players to win a bracelet in No Limit versus Negreanu. Who would you take? 5 players to win a bracelet in No Limit versus Daniel. So only in events they both play, right? Only in events they both play, who would I pick? There's definitely people who are going to be given that Negreanu's attention is divided, he's playing all the other events, he's running around doing all this kind of stuff. Like, I don't think his attention is going to be like super focused on no limit events. And so there's probably some people that I would take to win bracelets. Like, I don't think the chances of him winning a bracelet in a no-limit event and my chances of winning an event are that different. He's definitely going to win them more than me, but I don't think it's, like, significantly more so, you know? Like, if his chances of winning a bracelet in a no-limit event over the summer are, I mean, there's like 30 no-limit events. He's probably going to play like 15 of them. And of the 15, they're probably going to have what player field? Some like an insane number on average. And he probably wins them. I mean, like extremely unlikely. I mean, we're already at this point where it's very small. It's a single-digit percentage, I think, that he wins a no-limit event. I don't think like most people have a very similar number here. But it's hard to say. It's very hard to say. Sample sizes are an annoying thing. Hey, Jay Carver, have you played with or have any interesting experiences with Cole South or Raptor? Well, Cole South was a fantastic video maker, and one of the Phil Galfond, Cole South are the two guys that I most credit for my ability to play poker and make good decisions and like making videos. I would say I would give those two guys the most credit for being influences to me. But I've hung out with Cole only once or twice, and I played with him a couple times and hung out with him a couple times. He's a great guy, like super smart, very like straightforward, and as far as like personality goes, like nice guy. You know, I've always really liked him. He seems like just a smart, nice guy. Assuming Daniel isn't subscribed to you on YouTube, do you think you're a favorite against your entire subscriber pool on YouTube to be first to win a bracelet? No. I don't think that's true. There's no way that's true. No way that's true. Surely like a Scott Seaver or a Dan Smith or somebody like that follows us off the Hangouts alone. So surely that's true. So this hand went limp under the gun, I believe. He actually might have raised. And he called, we check called flop, and now here we are at the river. Pretty sure he's watching the stream, so... probably going to end up just folding here. I think that if this guy didn't have an ace, that he's at least somewhat likely to have... bet the turn, and because he didn't do that, I feel like this is likely going to be a jack that was either controlling on turn or an ace that was checking back for a deception on turn that is now betting on the river. Like if he has a hand that a 10 is beating, I feel like it's going to bet the turn and not check back. Now it's possible he's bluffing us, of course, but I don't think it's particularly likely. Oh, what's up, Gripst, I believe. Maybe it's the real Gripst. I don't know. I can only say what I see. It looks like Gripst to me. I feel like Dan O'Brien is not subscribed, generally speaking. I feel like that is probably true. Can you find a way to send some run-up warriors to World Series events? I could try to find a way to do that. That sounds like a thing that could be fun to do. I feel like once we have merch and stuff, which should be pretty soon, we'll figure out some way. You guys can slut it up and wear shirts, and I'll figure out some way to give some of you guys a chance at least to do it. Especially ones like El Guapo, who just have been crushing us for 9 months. You know, we gotta put them in. We gotta put them in. Put them in, coach. You know, how do we not do it? If you had to choose between Ivy or Selbst, who would you not want, or who would you want on your left for the main event final table? 100%, I would pick Vanessa. Vanessa for sure. I mean, they're both terrible to have on your left. It's not like you're picking a Marshmallow Pit versus a Mountain versus a... I don't have anything really. It's too early in the morning to come up with analogies, but I think that Ivy is definitely going to be scarier for sure. Jay Carver, do you think you're a favorite against Daniel in heads up no limit cash? Probably not these days. I'm sure if you look at the course of our careers in the last 10 years, I'm sure there are points over the course of those 10 years that I am a favorite against Daniel. Like the times I was playing consistently heads up, consistently cash, consistently, I'm sure there were periods in my life where I was a favorite against Daniel heads up, but I'm not sure these days. You know, he's put a lot of work. He's put a lot of work into the game, generally speaking, the last few years, whereas I have not really. He hangs out with people who are better straight up no limit players than I do on average these days. Although I have a decent group of it, but yeah, not too often do I hang out with guys like that. Off to the river we go here. Yeah, we're in for 62. So this is a spot where El Guapo correctly detects that our hand can never be that good. Like the best hand we can have here is like ace jack, something like that. So I think the way that I make my decision here with the king is that I sometimes will fold, sometimes I'm going to call with aces, fold with kings, I think. Maybe I call with kings like 30% of the time, call with aces like 80% of the time, something like that. So you could definitely be bluffing us here. You could have clubs and hearts and random nonsense, but I think nice hand, Mr. Guapo. You know, he definitely can be bluffing us there, but I think we can protect ourselves against an overbet. We have to be right pretty often, and I think we just can't always call there with a king. Even though I'm suspicious that he is probably bluffing there a good percentage of the time, I think we can't call with a hand as weak as what I had, which is just like king 7. So I feel like I can't call with hands quite as weak as that, but I defend myself there by calling with most aces and kings sometimes, but I don't think that time seems all right. Assuming not Daniel or anyone else that's ever been on Hangout, do I think my 14K subs are favorites? Probably. They have to be a favorite. There's got to be like a couple people in that pile who are sickos. You know, and once you have like 5 or 4 sickos, they have to be a clear favorite, more so than me. Hey, Jason. What's up, Andrew Conklin? Hey, Jason. See, Dana says Chael versus Anderson is possible again for a third fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see it. That sounds awesome. But I gotta say, I think that I think I'd like to see Chael beat Vanderlei first. And right now, like the TRT stuff seems weird. I'm not sure exactly what to make of that. Like, I mean, I'd love to see it, obviously, but it would be hilarious and awesome. But I don't know, man. I think I want to see him beat Vanderlei first. Have you guys been watching The Ultimate Fighter Brazil, the season on Fight Pass? I haven't seen yesterday's episode or Sunday's episode, but the first episode was pretty decent for, you know, I thought it was fine. Jason, would you rather win the World Series main event and have 100% of yourself? Sounds like I'd pick that one, getting all that extra money, or win the one drop and have 50% and getting all the goodwill for winning a charity event. I will take the main event, thank you. I will take the main event, thank you. Unfortunately, don't got very much here. Don't want to say what I have in case I think both these guys are watching. On YouTube, you guys know. I was getting a little feisty. Did not work out too well. Hey, Jason, I know you do not play poker for a living any longer. And like I'm giving you like an announcing voice. Hey, Jason, I know you don't like to play poker for a living any longer. But do you see yourself returning to the grind one day? Maybe. I mean, I could see myself traveling around a little bit more. I kind of miss the circuit a little bit, but I don't really miss the traveling too much. Like, I never was a big fan of traveling. Like, at one point, I was traveling 2 weeks of every month throughout the entire year for years. That's a lot, man. And it was never like 2 months gone, 2 months away. It was like 4 days here, 6 days home, 7 days gone, 2 days home. Like, I didn't really love it, to be honest with you. And like I didn't go to LAPC. I didn't go to LAPC. I didn't go to Bay 101, and I didn't really miss either of them, to be honest. Like, there are so many cool things going on out here with different like video opportunities and things like that I've been working on that I don't really miss it, but I do miss like I wish I could play like once a week in like a good 50-100 game. Like, that sounds like it would be a lot of fun. I wish we could do that. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen too often. But I might play some more live cash out here in Vegas. You know, I might have to get back into that a little bit more, which is why I'm looking forward to playing that cash game on Monday. Did anybody here? I see. Specifically me. hear Ivy's interview on 2+2? No, I didn't hear that, but I heard it was good. I actually meant to listen to that podcast, but I have not. What is the stupidest UFC-related bet that I've made because of bias? Like the stupidest bet that I've made. Well, I don't know. That's tough. That's tough to say because like I like to think that I'm outside of bias. I mean, not like always, mind you, but I feel like I try to keep my bets away from bias, or if I'm making bets with a bias, I try to acknowledge to myself that they are biased. You know, I mean, like I at least acknowledge that they are. But no, I don't think I had a bias on Chael versus Rashad. I mean, I actually felt like that was fine. Now, with everything that I knew later, it didn't seem like the best bet. But at the time, I felt like it was fine. I wouldn't have bet as much as I did on a bet that I thought was not really a good bet. All right, he had a flush, which is the winning hand. I would think you'd have to look back beyond that. Like, I mean, I probably bet. I mean, one of the stupidest bets I ever made was GSP Sarah. I just thought that GSP won like 98% of the time, which was just incorrect. And I think that was biased to overthinking GSP's invulnerability. And then I got punished for that, which is kind of unlucky. I mean, he was probably 90%, not 95 or whatever it was. But I can't really think of one. If I have to look at my spreadsheet. If I saw all the bets I ever made, I'm sure there were a couple in there that I would regret, but I really can't think of one. You bet Stefan Bonner because you got 13-1. Well, that seems like a bit of a donation. I'm not sure about that. Hey, Jason, I'm writing a research paper on casinos. Could you answer a few questions for me? Right here, right now, I can answer a few questions for you. I don't think you should write me an email or anything. Though I'm really bad at responding back to people. My queue is so long. I just can't keep up with the messages and stuff. So sorry about that if you've tried to get in touch with me in the last few weeks. I've been just completely buried with things. Dear Jay, did you bet on the Hendricks versus GSP fight? And if you did, who did you bet? I only bet on... Oh, I did bet on GSP versus Hendricks. That's right. Months ago. Yeah, that's it, I guess. I thought you meant last card, in which case I only bet Miles Jury against... What's-his-face? I would love to see Matt Sarah versus Matt Hughes. I'm sorry. I would love to see that fight. I think that, you know, the geezers at Caesars tour should continue. I think that would be an awesome fight. I would enjoy it. I would watch. I would pay for it. I think those two guys as coaches for the Ultimate Fighter would also be amazing, even with no fight at the end of the season. I think that would be a great thing to do something with. Jason, what would your plans be after you won the $10 million guaranteed first place for the main event? I honestly don't think I would do anything different, man. I mean, I would obviously do some things a little bit different. It would be awesome, but I don't think it would change very much, to be honest. SqueegeB. There's a lot of I's in that name. SqueegeB says, good luck, Jason. Thanks, man. Just found your videos. Wow, you watched all the Run It Up in the last month or two. That's a lot of Run It Up. I apologize for being cursed with my voice in your head. Barry Thunderwood says, hey, Jason, the last 4 Sundays, I've played a local 5-1 game, taking it for a 750, 950, 1,000, and 900. Wow, breaking the game. That is amazing. Mostly from constantly asking myself, what would Jay Carver do? Wow, Jay Carver would get a wheelbarrow. You're crushing it, kid. That's great. That is awesome. That is really strong, man. In a 51 game, sounds like you're breaking the game over there. 3,500 big blinds in a month. That's great. What effects on surrounding communities, if any, have you seen or noticed during your long career at casinos? Well, I tend not to leave casinos too much once I'm at them, so I really can't give you too much information on that. But if you really want to know, I would Google Commerce Casino. Commerce Casino is probably a good example. You look at like Commerce, look at like Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods. The areas around those places are not the nicest. Saw Hughes fight one of the Gracies in Abu Dhabi ages ago. In what, Rory? In jiu-jitsu or in MMA? I mean, obviously he fought Hoist years ago, but that wasn't in Abu Dhabi. For a new player, should I do the little one for 1 drop or the Millionaire Maker? They're probably both very similar. I'd probably play Millionaire Maker because there's no rake, like the charitable rake is not there. So I would say bigger tournament. Yeah, I agree with Russ DT here. Easier tournament and bigger field. Once again, because I haven't said it in a little bit while, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget you can follow me on twitch.tv/JakartaPoker. If you're watching me on Twitch, you can also follow me. And whenever I go live, you can be notified. So that way when I do these weird streams at weird times, you can just get a nice little email that says, hey, over there, Jay Carbs is streaming. And then you'll just know. It'll be great. So you can check that out if you like. Painful, disciplined laydown. Hey Jason, what kind of run it up merch can we be expecting? I'm trying at first. The new mantra that I've been working on is simplify and deliver. So that's the team slogan I've been working off of in the last month. So I'm hoping to have relatively simple t-shirts, relatively simple hoodies. By the way, I folded 9-7 here. Wow. El Guapo should have bluffed. Couldn't beat the queen high. El Guapo, what did you have over there? You must have had low spades or something. Well, that's what he said. Which is best, Millionaire Maker versus 1 drop, being accused as being a bottom line thinker. It's true. I mean, if you're looking to play, the other one's going to be softer and all that. But yeah, streaming UK friendly times. I know that's. I will definitely do this pretty often. If you guys like this, I can definitely do this pretty often. Oh, versus Henzo Gracie. Yes, that's right. That fight was terrible. That fight was really bad. I don't know what happened there, but Henzo just did not look very good. All right. You YouTube guys are probably like, what is going on in this video? The hands I've folded under the gun in the small blind. Playing a little bit tighter. You know, I got to make some adjustments to... we played now with these 4 guys, or at least these 3 guys, for the majority of this video, so... Great Torp. That's right. Great Torp, member of the real Run It Up army over here, the Work It Up army. That's right. Commerce, not the greatest of places. All right, some more questions here. Andrew Conklin wants to know, how come on your UFC breakdown you picked Condit over Woodley? I would have thought you would have picked Woodley all day. He's the John Jones of 170, don't you think? I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think it's a little bit too soon to call him the John Jones of 170, but beating Condit is no easy feat. I actually kind of really thought about my picks later on, and in a 3-round fight, I actually kind of regretted picking Condit over Woodley because I didn't really realize just how much better Woodley's wrestling was than Condit's. And in a 3-round fight, it's pretty easy just to hold somebody down for 3 rounds with wrestling as good as Woodley's. But I don't, I made my pick. I'm not regretting it. But when I was retroactively thinking about it, I think that was probably a small mistake. And, it's basically like I picked Hendricks because I thought that him and Lawler were pretty evenly matched standing, but Hendricks had a huge advantage wrestling. Didn't look like to be that way. But, again, I'm not sure how much the messed up elbow that impacted that. Questions for El Guapo can come later. We'll do a El Guapo Q&A. Dear Jay Carver, sometimes you were checking boxes before the guys to your right act. Yeah, that's true. I am doing that sometimes, but at least I'm usually folding. If people are really ghosting me to see where I'm insta-folding, well, then I guess good for you. But I am answering only on Twitch chat. People are asking me questions in IRC. That's true as well. If you enjoyed this chat, you can come hang out with us in IRC. We have a chat room basically that's running 24/7, talking poker, video games, UFC, other cool things. We're on sinirc.net. Hashtag Run It Up, or the channel name is Run It Up. Hang out with us on IRC. So ghosting is just like when you're streaming, having people watch the stream while they're playing with you. So in like League of Legends, it's even worse when they're like, oh, I know this guy is going to this position, so then they just look like a genius because they happen to be there. But Yeah, I don't think you can say Woodley is the John Jones of 170 yet. He seems impressive, but he did just lose to Nate Marquardt. I mean, losing to Jake Shields is not really a very impressive, it happens to everybody. Jake Shields has beat some of the best in the business, but yeah, losing to Marquardt, you have to also say that even Tyron Woodley kind of discounts that Marquardt loss because Nate was, at his peak of TRT usage back then and hasn't looked as good since beating him. So you got to give him like a little bit of a break there. And I give him like a little bit of a break. But record-wise, no break. But emotionally, small break. So I played this hand actually very differently than how I usually would. I actually have ace-king here. I just check back flop, bet on turn, and now he's betting out on the river. I don't think he has enough unpaired hands for us to call. I don't think raising makes a lot of sense. Sometimes, I usually bet flop. This time I decided not to. Jay Carver, you're like 150? Yeah, I'm like 155 right now. Bankroll's at 815 plus the $17 we're up right now. Yeah, IRC's been around for a long time. So yeah, but right about 825. Hopefully we'll keep doing these long streams. If you guys enjoyed this, we'll definitely do this a couple more times in the future. So if Woodley fought Condit again, like tomorrow with all official legs and everything, would I take Woodley? Yeah, of course. I mean, I think they would make adjustments, obviously, but if I could go back in time, I would definitely have picked Woodley. I mean, look at how well Woodley was able to strike with Condit. Like, they had striking exchanges, and Woodley just was able to outstrike him, like, on the feet, like, clearly. I mean, Woodley landed amazingly powerful punches, and Condit didn't get knocked out, but he wasn't winning the fight either. So I think that's right. The Jesse will play. We play our ace king as passively as possible. Yeah. I feel like 70% of the conversation I'm running up goes over my head because I don't watch UFC or play League of Legends. Well, it's possible. It's possible. 70% though, that seems like quite a lot. 70% seems like too much. But maybe like 48%. Something like that. All right. You talk a lot about not being consistent in your apprentice videos, but isn't that poker? Don't you always want to do, you don't want to always do the same thing. Just because you fold one hand, it doesn't mean you should always fold similar hands to be consistent. Absolutely 100% agree with you, sir. 100% agree with you. However, I think it's not the decisions that should be this consistently the same. It's the thought process. So it's not so much that I think that you should always do the same thing every single time with the same hand in the same spot, but you should always have the same decision-making tools for every single spot and every single decision. So in spots that didn't look any different to me, our hero was doing things that were very different. And it's worth pointing out that if our hero is opening this hand, I have an 8. All right. Boom. And a flush draw, and a straight draw. But in that video, Jesse was opening in some spots, folding in others, and as far as I could see, there was no reason why he should do one and not the other. So there could definitely be reasons. This guy raised very quickly. This guy took a long time before raising. Information I don't have access to, that's totally fine. Make decisions, and you should definitely optimize your decisions in the situation that you're put into. But yeah, I think I'm sorry we have to play sometime. I play normals pretty often. I invite everybody who's on that is not challenger level. I don't, the challenger guys, they're a little too good, but come hang out in IRC. I will let you guys know next time I'm doing it. I saw that the blue side team wins 6% more of the time. I feel like they need to balance that, man. I don't know how they balance it, but there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to fix that. There's got to be something you can do to even that out. They're geniuses over there. I've been to Riot headquarters before. I had a meeting with them maybe 6 months ago, and they have 7 stories of insane geniuses and this beautiful Santa Monica office. And I feel quite. I have a lot of belief in what they're capable of doing. I'm sorry you missed an invite. You can add me. I'm Jay Carver. I'm Jay Carver on League of Legends. Hey, Jay Carver, what's up, man? Can you give me a link to the IRC channel? I don't know how to link it. People were linking before, But I guess there's a way to link and hang out on like internet web chat. But I don't have that. Somebody will post it for you in a sec. You what, mate? I swear on me mum, I'll wreck you in 1v1. Listen, mate. I love it. Love it. I don't know how. There's no way I can like it more than I just said. Jay, come to Dublin for the UFC and we'll go and get hammered. Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun, although I don't really drink too much. You could give me like 2 beers and I would be under the floor. Under the floor, even. That's right. But I would love to go to Dublin. I would love to. Do I play Diablo 3 at all? I actually just got I started a monk like 2 days ago and got to 60 in hardcore. Not 2 days ago, over the weekend. I got to 60 in hardcore in like 24 hours of gameplay. So I'm excited for the expansion. I think they seem to have really fixed the issues with Diablo. I mean, I thought that it was really shitty when it first came out, but it seems like it's done a lot. They seem like they've fixed a lot of those issues. So who do I see giving Hendricks a run for his money in the welterweight class? I only really see Woodley. He is just so strong, don't you think? And I have another question too. You should do an apprentice of a poker pro. Let's see how you feel telling Ivy or Daniel what to do. Well, I'd love to have Ivy on as an apprentice. I would be the apprentice. Let him apprentice me. I'd be down for that. We did one like that with Danielle. The Moon Girl was our streamer, and we hung out with that. I would definitely be up for that. But what were we talking about? Oh, your first part. Who do I see Hendricks giving him a run? Woodley, I think, is definitely his number one contender. Lombard needs to win one more time before I can really think that he's going to be in there. Diaz, I don't think he has an answer for the wrestling and or the striking, really. But, I mean, I love Nick Diaz, but I don't think he's going to be able to beat Hendricks. Rory? Maybe. Good old Rory McDonald. Not our Rory, but Rory nonetheless. I think... Oh, yeah, Auction House. No more Auction House today as well for Diablo. But, yeah, I mean, I think he has some interesting contenders. You know, Rory is up there. Matt Brown needs another win, probably. In my opinion, you should match Matt Brown with Lombard, Woodley with Hendricks. Leaves Rory kind of out of it. I think it should be Lawler Diaz, Lombard Brown, or somehow together, I think. I mean, there are so many good fights. I'm not even really sure. And yeah, I agree. Cool guy Normal here says that 170 is a Shark Tank, and I definitely agree with that. Do I ever plan on playing EPTs? Yeah, I'm probably going to play EPT London later this year. Not really sure if I'll play one until then. Once you download Pigeon, you have to go to like, I think it's like account or something, and you add an account, find the server. Somebody can help you out, but I don't have Pigeon open right now, or I would just show you on camera. But yeah, you can come hang out with us. 41 people currently in the IRC chat room. That's right. Have I seen the video on Ivy Poker of Ivy doing a run-it-up style 8 or better? No, I have not seen that. Phil seems like he's done a lot of cool stuff lately, though, with like video content and things like that. I've been really impressed with the amount of like PR stuff that he's done. Pretty impressive, all in all. If you could pick to see Anderson versus John Jones or any super fight, who would you want to see? I mean, Anderson, John Jones definitely would be up there. Although these days, you know, God, you don't want to feed Anderson to John Jones now, do you? Is this really what you want to do to Anderson Silva on his first fight back or something like that? I mean, I don't. But I think that Anderson versus anybody would always be great. I think John Jones versus Kane is another great fight, to be honest. You know, if I would be fun, in my opinion, Nick Diaz, Anderson Silva. Let's give him that fight. That would be one that I would love to pay for. That one sounds like that would be a party. That sounds like it would be a party. So in this hand, this guy raised to 150. We re-raised. He called. He check-called flop. We check turn. And now here we are on the river. I feel like we're going to lose this hand pretty often. We have the old ace and king, so I don't think we're going to win this hand. We do win against like ace queen, 10-9, stuff like that, but we probably lose to like 2 7s. Nice. Ace queen, no good. That's right. That's right. No good. Oh, that was pathetic. That was a pathetic Bing Po. Much better. Much better. If that was the deli bell, I wouldn't even serve that fucking guy. Go to the back of the line. Pathetic bell ringer over here. You're pathetic. Yeah, Anderson Nick Diaz would be a sick. That would be a great fight. And it's a great fight for Anderson on his first fight back because they can just box for 5 rounds as far as I care. So that sounds like it would be great. Who is your favorite YouTube personality? I think my current favorite YouTube personality is I've been watching a lot of Rob Cesternino. If he used to be on Survivor, was one of the really like first guys to do like genius strategy moves on Survivor, and I really like his podcast. He has a show called Rob Has a Podcast, and on his website you can find it. Rob has a website, and I have an ace must win. Oh, what? Just chop. That's a very tight check by our opponent. Probably incorrect. Actually, almost certainly incorrect. Even though he almost never loses. We almost never call him with worse, but yeah, I still think you probably should have bet. I'm in for 62 here. Looks like over to us on the button. Gonna raise it up here. All right. When I asked if you could see, or Dana, or Joe, no, I don't want to see Dana White fight. I have no desire to see Dana White fight. Sorry. All right, off to the turn card we go. So we raised pre, bet flop. Here we are now on the turn. Okay. Here we are now on the river. Check back on the turn. Philip DeFranco. Oh, yeah? I've never heard of him before. Pretty sure we can't fold here. We have a hand that's towards the best hand we ever show up with. We definitely lose to jacks and stuff like that, but we beat 10-9. We beat random like 6-7, things that aren't straights. We beat 8x, stuff like that, ace highs. I think we win often enough. We definitely lose a good percentage of the time, but I think we win often enough with our little tenors. That's right. Got it done. What do we think about his play there? He had king-queen just called pre-flop, which seems okay. Check called flop, which seems okay. And then bluffed river. Don't know how many better hands fold, but I'll probably fold ace highs, stuff like that, pretty often. All right. Off to the flop we go here. Sorry about that. Raised it up in the cutoff. Got two defenders. Gonna start here at the bet. Quick call from the guy to our left over here. The Kraken. Kraken calls quite quickly. Both players call. Guess we're gonna check this as well. $17 sit and go for the fans. I don't think I want to leave this cash game. I think we're gonna stick this one out for the rest of our stream here. Play for a little bit longer. I have actually something I have to do at 1, but I'll probably have to get ready relatively soon for that. Probably play for like 30 minutes more, maybe something like that. Up about 32 sweet dollars so far. Well, I can't click this on stream because they're not happy when I do that. But send it to me later. Hop in the IRC chat, lol, what Zigga, and I'll watch there. When you were on the tour, did you ever have like set roommates for the hotel situation, or did you even not split rooms, or was it always just getting random rooms with random poker players because it was cheaper? No, I almost always had my own room. I did share rooms with like my closest friends every once in a while, but I always had decent amount of money before I started traveling, so never really had to. If you pick the worst UFC fighter, which poker pro that you know would last the longest against him? Roble trained MMA for a while, and he's pretty built. Heath Herring, does he count as the poker pro? Probably not. I don't know. I think, don't have a great answer. Terrence would do really well. He's not really a pro poker player, though. How many tables have we played at one time? I mean, the most I've ever played is probably like 16, but I haven't done that too often. Do I know any other player besides me and Grips that do these kinds of vids? No, I mean, I don't really watch other people's videos. I feel like that's... I mean, I watch Phil Galfond and Sauce on Run It Once. I watch their videos, but I'm not really sure who else streams. Oh, Jason Kuhn streams? I didn't know that. That sounds awesome. Didn't know he did that. I think poker players should stream more often. I mean, it's a great game for streaming. I mean, this is how they did poker on ESPN back in the day, only with no one that knew what they were talking about. And he didn't try to be entertaining either. So I feel like there's something here with that. Also, the fact that you can go watch later on YouTube is probably a plus for most people. We've been streaming now for 2 hours. Can you go uptime? Does that work? Stream time? I don't know. Oh, there you go. 2 hours. Now we know. 1 hour, 49 minutes we've been streaming for. Andrew Roble with 3 months of guillotine defense against Cody McKenzie. Could be. I like that idea. As far as somebody asked before if Dan Blitzarian, Somebody asked before if Dan Blitzarian, what I thought about him as a poker player. I've never played with him before. I have no real opinion. I mean, I have friends who have, but I don't really know. I don't know. I'd amputate my arms before fighting Ronda. I don't know if you do too well with your arms amputated. Just saying. Just saying. Who do you think has been the most consistent UFC referee? I mean, Herb Dean, I would have said too, except for the fact that he has had some stoppages lately that haven't been so good. The stoppage with Uriah was just incorrect. You know, Uriah literally was like thumbs up and they stopped the fight. That's not good. So I would used to say Herb Dean, but maybe not him anymore. John McCarthy has been around for a long time. Has definitely made some mistakes. There was a fight. It was like UFC... I want to say it was like UFC 20 plus or minus 5. I guess plus minus 5, probably like 21, 22 plus minus 5. There was a UFC fight that there was an early stoppage. The guy wasn't out. It was between somebody who you would know and somebody who you would not know. It was somebody, one of you guys probably knows. I think it was Sakuraba, actually. It was fighting in the UFC. And they stopped the fight. He stopped the fight early. And because it was a tournament format back then, they stopped the fight early. And he was like, he protested so much that when the other guy couldn't make the finals, they put this guy back in. And it was a rematch. It was the same fight twice on the same night. And Sakuraba, whoever it was, won the second time. How sick is that? How sick is it to fight the same guy twice in the UFC, in the octagon? Lose the first time to early stoppage, have it overturned as a no contest, and then beat the guy on the same night. That's pretty fucking strong, man. Yep, Sakuraba. Yep, confirmed there. Is Vivek a possible run-up and hangout interview? No, Vivek doesn't do media. I mean, he is my best friend. I see him relatively often, but he is not probably ever going to do hangout. I don't even think... I wouldn't even know what to ask him. Like, it would be just like, I don't know. He's really not a big fan of media attention whatsoever. What's up, Jason? Any thoughts on Helmuth's role in the ultimate bet mess? Personally had $75K stolen from those crooks, 3-year anniversary approaching. Well, I'm obviously really sorry to hear that. I mean, I have similar stories of losing tons of money. I mean, not as much as you, but plenty of my friends lost as much or more than you. Sup, the poker brat, welcome. Probably not Phil Hellmuth, but it's funny that's one too. I mean, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I mean, like, I really wanted to watch that documentary that they put out not too long ago. I forget what it was called. But there was a documentary that they just made, like, it was like Ultimate something, like Ultimate Cheat or something, I don't remember. But there was a documentary that they put out that probably did the best job, I believe, did a really good job at trying to, like, tell the story. And I didn't see it, so I don't know for sure. But I'm not sure if he just like took his checks and never asked any questions, or if he was really involved. But that's one of the problems with these unregulated offshore sites is that there's no oversight. There is no real justice because there's no one has any teeth to do anything about it. So Ultimate Beat, yeah, I gotta watch that. Did anybody see that? Did anybody actually see that? And if you did, thoughts? Yeah, there you go. Maybe I could do a Royce just induce the berating. Okay, let's see a turn card Duller. Interesting turn card here. I would think that turn card is slightly better for his set of hands than mine on average, given that I bet called and he raised. He has flushes here more often than me. He has queens more often than me. Gonna just fold. I had ace high. I actually haven't seen the True Detective finale yet. Dan Harrison says if he loses to Shogun, he'll be retiring. Is that really true? I didn't know that. But, I mean, sounds about right. He would be on a 3-fight losing streak. I mean, off TRT after the Shogun fight. I mean, I think it would be just about time for him to retire if he loses to Shogun. Like, I don't really disagree with that. He's 42, man. 42. Pretty old. Just saying. What do I think about Ultimate Poker naming themselves Ultimate Poker after the whole Ultimate Bet scandal? I mean, I think that it was probably not the best of decisions. I think that it, I mean, they said that they did a bunch of study and PR stuff, and that they turned out that there was no negative connotation, and that Ultimate Fighting Championship, they wanted Ultimate Poker. So for that reason, I understand their logic and everything, but I also feel like all those people that made those decisions weren't poker players and never really understood the connotations or negative energy that the poker community had against the name. So I mean, I understand their side, but I also understand our side, so to speak. I'm a cutie pie is streaming. Well, what are you doing here? I don't know. I understand. How do I think Vitor will do with no TRT? Probably not as well, generally speaking. Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying here pretty often. The Returned. Is that the Swedish show or Danish show that came out? It was it's in English subtitles. Is that show? Because I bought it and I just never I could never get into it because I had to actually watch it and I didn't have the time to watch it. But go Jay Carver, Team Holland. I love the name, Team Holland. I can break out my 3 Dutch curse words. I used to know so much more than 3. What was that one? I mean, I mostly. Oh man, there were so many good ones we knew back in the day because we had some Dutch friends that cursed all the time. I'll have to think about it and get back to you. I love it. Jason, both you and D Moon Girl have made mentions about wanting a time bank while you are playing. Do you think Ultimate Poker will ever implement one? Ever? Yes. When? Don't know. Dan says that if he wins, he'll want a title fight, but if he loses, he thinks he wants to just retire. I don't know, man. He wants a title fight against John Jones. So first he has to wait for Glover Jones. Then he has to wait for John. If John Jones wins, then he needs to wait for John Jones Gustafsson. And then Cormier is just, I guess, not fighting, I guess. Is that what's happening? I mean, I don't really think Dan Henderson gets a title fight next online. Been jonesing for this all day. Been streaming for 2 hours, Lewis. 2 hours. We're gonna post this on. We're gonna be posting this on YouTube with whole cards. Probably will take me about 3 hours, from editing, processing, uploading, annotating. It'll probably come out about 2 p.m. my time, so about 3 hours for you guys. If you missed any of the stream. Jason, if I can ask a question, you sure can ask a question. What steps are best to bring one's A game on a daily basis and make it a habit? I would tell you that there are probably, in my opinion, ways you can go through like a mental checklist of things. Like you should always make sure you've eaten, make sure you've slept as well as you can. You want to just like mentally tell yourself that, okay, I'm going to focus on making the best decisions possible in this session. I'm not going to worry about other things going on in my life. My cat having diabetes, not going to worry about that. Like all the other issues going on in my life, I'm just going to forget about it. I'm just going to focus on making the best decisions that I can make right now. And I think that you want to always kind of like pre-frame yourself to get into that mindset. If you feel yourself starting to tilt or you feel yourself starting to make bad decisions, I think it's important that you then kind of like immediately take stock of it, right? Try to be honest with yourself at all times and be like, am I playing badly? Am I a winner in this game? Is there a chance if I'm not a winner in this game or if I'm not playing well, can I turn that around? How do I turn that around? Like, I think it's very, very important that you're self-aware as a poker player and that you're constantly trying to like ask and reevaluate your play and your decisions and what you're doing and all that. In this hand, looks like that we raised call, bet, call. Here we are now on the turn. Any other Romanians? I'm sure there are a couple Romanians. I've said hello to like 3 of them this stream alone, I think. Gustav could fight DC. Yeah, that sounds like it could be a thing, but all right. Well, all right. We'll be talking about this one, boys. We'll be talking about this one. Wow. I folded a set, by the way. Wow. Look at us. Look at us folding sets correctly. I mean, it obviously sucks that we had to fold a set, but glad that we only took $8 out of our pocket and we didn't lose the pile. I mean, I just didn't think that when this guy check min raised, I was already concerned. And once El Guapo re-raises, like, El Guapo doesn't have a set, right? And he doesn't have King Queen and re-raise like that, I don't think. Like, maybe he has exactly King Queen, but I think it's very likely that one or the other has Jack 9 or Ace Jack. So, dodging bullets there. Like, I mean, I was pretty sure that I was going to fold once. I mean, I was calling the min raise because we have the right price to call in position against the min raise. We have the right price to call and just full house mine. But and we're good sometimes as well. But once El Guapo re-raises, I think it's very, very unlikely that the first guy doesn't have a straight and El Guapo doesn't have a straight. So glad we got off there for only $8. Worked out pretty well. Yeah, so that actually, if we've talked about it before, but if you've ever, we talked about the concept of like if our opponents had like if you gave that hand to GC Vegas and gave El Guapo and I straights, like how much more money would we make versus him? Like if that guy goes broke 20% of the time in that spot or higher even, that's great for us if we never go broke in that spot. You know, that's a very significant difference in terms of equity and stuff. You know, we don't make it a habit of folding sets too often here and running up pairs. I would say pairs are better. We don't fold too often, but if there's ever been a spot where I thought we should fold, I thought that one seemed like a good one to me. Romanians. I live in the UK and I'm looking to go away for the summer to grind poker, and I've heard Romania is a good... Oh, not for me, I guess. I can't help you with your Romanian travel, I don't think. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, when heads up, I mean, if it was heads up and El Guapo had just check raised us and we had a set in the turn, it would have been a much tougher situation to get away from. I mean, like, I wouldn't have been able to fold on turn because he can have 2 pair and just be like, I have the best hand, I want to protect my hand, and we could have called. And then if the river was 9, an ace, or a board pair, we would do something besides call. If the river was like a 3 and he shoves, or 3 would have been great, obviously. But if the river was like a 4 and he shoves, probably would have folded. What do I think of their ace-jack fold on the flop? I think it's fine. What's wrong with their ace-jack fold? I think that seems all right. Or a call, I mean. I think their ace-jack fold call seems fine to me. El Guapo has been talking in the chat. He's definitely watching the stream. That's why I've been extra careful to not say our hand at any given time. I've done it. I've managed to avoid it. 2 hours. 2 hours and more we have been doing this. and haven't said the cards once now. 2 hours, 2 minutes. Have you ever played in a live game that had a shot clock? No, never played in a game with a shot clock, although I would love to. That sounds like it would be nice. Some more Hendo talk. Don't you agree that Dan Henderson versus Cormier would be a bad fight for Dan Henderson? Yeah, that would be it's like Dan Henderson fighting Dan Henderson 2.0. You know, don't you think to some degree that Daniel Cormier is just a better version of Dan Henderson in most regards? I feel like that's probably true. I mean, he's almost certainly a better MMA wrestler, Cormier, and likely a better striker. You know, has Cormier lost a round in the UFC? I think that's going to be a very tough fight for a 43-year-old Dan Henderson. Yeah, you got to be within the borders of Nevada to play Ultimate Poker. You can just be visiting and play, but you have to be within the borders of here or in New Jersey. Yeah, I'm pretty sure at least these 3 guys are all in this chat, watching the show, watching the stream. And I don't think these 2 are, but maybe it's possible. I assume everybody is watching just to avoid catastrophe / issues. All right. I don't know if Evans is Chael 2.0 with miles better striking. Rory likes to cause issues here. I mean, Evans' striking is definitely better than Chael's. That is definitely true. But I don't think his wrestling is that much better than Chael's. Like, I thought it wasn't. Apparently it was. Who knew? Nope, we're up. We're in for $62. We're up $20 right now. You ever do any flips online? I sure have. If so, for how much? I don't think I did anything ever bigger than for like 5 or 2K. I don't think I did anything bigger than like 2 or 5K. That was probably the most for flips online. I've flipped pretty big live before. I flipped for 40K once live. That was fun. But no, I've never online. Actually, I flipped for 40K a couple times live. You guys saw it one time, but I flipped for 40K of my money, 80K when I was younger and stupid. Okay. Young Dan Henderson would eat Cormier, very possibly. Who is your favorite League of Legends player? As far as like professional player, I'm a big fan of oh man, I'm breaking on his name. Ocelot. Ocelot is an amazing streamer. I really like him as his attitude is great. I get a lot of inspiration out of him. Nightblue, I watch Nightblue all the time. He's the only guy that I ever pay for on Twitch. I think he's great. I mean, really great. I'm a big fan of his streams and play all in all. As far as like LCS guys, I actually kind of feel like I think there's no like particular guy on like TSM I'm a big fan of. Cloud9, I'm a big fan of their team, but Coast is my personal Coast is my personal like favorite team because I happen to know the guy who owns Coast. But yeah, I don't know really. Am I gonna watch WrestleMania? Not a fan of wrestling, besides in MMA. Just do a run it up with flips. Hey, we'll definitely be there, or we'll get there faster one way or another. I play in Ultimate Poker in Nevada. Questions from IRC, that's right. The New Jersey player pool is different than the one in Nevada. As of right now, they are separate. Thanks for hanging out, Zebra Poker. First live stream ever. Greetings from Switzerland. What's up? Never been there. Would love to go. Here it's beautiful. So in this hand, we raised it up. Bet on flop. Excuse me. Check back on turn here. Oh, my roommate was recently diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. I know what that's like. Can't fold here. Our hand is just too good. You know, we check back turn to not fold rivers. So that's what we're doing here. We lose to kings, but we win this often enough that we certainly don't think we can fold. Queen 8, El Guapo. What are you doing? No respect. No respect, nothing. No respect. No. Does Queen 8 can't just let it go, huh, kid? King 4-4. I'll call with Queen 8. Who you been listening to? Huh? King 4-4. Doesn't want to just let it go. Will I chat with him sometimes on Facebook? yeah, if he, I mean, I don't really have much to say besides commiserating with his pain. But yeah, if he wants to message me, I'll see it eventually. No promises that I'll see it like today or anything, because I have like a huge queue of messages that I have to get through at some point. But I mean, I have 110 notifications on Facebook right now. I'm just saying it's a lot. I'm just saying it's a lot. I have to get through them. But yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always happy to talk to people that either are fans or think I can help in some way or another. Not sure I can ever help, but you know. Never been to Norway. Would love to visit that as well, though. We're going to have to do a European tour at some point. Morocco is more beautiful. Probably better weather. I would agree. I would believe that for sure. Haven't read a poker book in a very long time. I'm sure there are good ones, but I believe you're my biggest fan from Wisconsin. Haven't heard too many about too many Wisconsin Warriors. You're definitely the head sheriff, I think, Andrew. Appreciate that. Zebra Poker. Doing anything cool for my birthday? Absolutely not. I would bet you that I will do absolutely nothing for my birthday. That's how I do events around here. Wow, huge pot. Oh, super good for Feels Good Man. Oh, super, super good. Feels like you got it in super good. He's not even running up Warrior. Maybe he will be after I'm done talking to him. I'm jinxing you. I'm sorry, Railbird2470. Apologize. I heard John Little's books are good. Haven't read them, but I've heard they're pretty strong. Okay. Rory always the jokester. Rory the jokester, McDonald. Do you have any oh, sorry. Jay Carver, sorry for wasting stream. Would you have any advice for me, as I'm planning to have a few months of grinding when I graduate? Good or bad idea? Well, where do you live, sir? I think that's going to determine exactly how I feel about it. If you live in a place with no online poker, no live poker, it's going to be tough. But hey, if you love poker, go for it. Go for it. I think it's totally fine to take a shot and do your thing. But I'm sure there's more than one of you from Switzerland. There's got to be more than one. Off to the flop we go. Raised it up to 150. El Guapo re-raised. Off to the flop here. Bet from our opponent. Harrington's books were great back in the day, for sure. I really liked them back in the day. Don't know how much they apply these days, but were really good back then. El Guapo bets here twice. Let's see a river card, dealer. So, kind of interesting spot, bad river card for us. We had our favorite hand, the old 3-5 of clubbies, but the old 3-5 puppy dog feed did not work out for us this time. I'm pretty sure I'm going to fold here. He can have all his overpairs. He did bet turn, and I feel like if he didn't have it, he would check on turn a pretty good percentage of the time. Like, I'm going to call here a good amount, but I don't think I'm going to call this time. I mean, it's a spot where, because he bet the turn, I kind of believe him. He looks like he bluffed the sire. Did it again. I mean, I think that he is, could have opened that, I guess. I think that he is definitely bluffing us there a good percentage of the time, but I thought that because he bet turn, he was less likely to have hands like King Queen, because that's kind of a turn card that we're not folding on too often. But good for him for betting turn and river, because if he doesn't bet river, then the turn bet is pretty bad. If he checks on river and we just win with our 3-5, that's really bad. And I do think that river card is good for him to bluff, but I thought that on turn he wouldn't bluff there. So good on Mr. Guapo for bluffing us there, because that turn bet really is what it comes down to. Now, we win that pot on, obviously, aces and threes and fives, and I guess threes you might not win on, but we win it on aces because threes put any ace has a straight. But we win it on fives, sixes, and aces. And I'm not sure if he bluffs us even on like non-pairing rivers. So I feel like we kind of got a little bit unlucky because if the river is like a 7 or a 9 or like really any card that connects that doesn't improve us, I feel like he's going to have to take his foot off the gas a good percentage of the time. He obviously wins on kings and queens. Jacks, he might not bluff, but he might. Aces, he bluffs, but we have a straight. And, any of the other connecting cards, I think like the board has to pair for him to like, the board has to pair or he has to hit a king or a queen for to win that. So I feel like we win that pot more often than we lose it, but we didn't win that one there. But I think that was a well-played hand by him, and I think it's a pretty fine spot here for us to fold. Hey, Jay Carver, I was watching some of your super old videos where you kept really detailed notes on your opponents. Is there any way you could do some of those, an episode sometime that teaches us those techniques? Yeah, I think I'd actually be up for that. I think that seems like a spot I'd be up for doing. Like, in short, my note-taking advice is to write down any time you think that people are doing things you wouldn't assume they would be doing normally, right? So if I'm watching a guy and he raises with ace king and then bets on an ace deuce 5 board 3 times and bets all normal amounts, I'm not going to take a note on that because I would assume that he would have ace king in that spot. But let's say he raises ace king for 4 times the big blind instead of 3 times the big blind and then checks back on flop where I'd assume he would bet. Well, I'm going to write down a lot of notes about that guy because that seems like really weird. Like, that's like, what are you doing here? And I'd want that information in the future when I'm playing this guy. So I think that's a pretty key, like, general baseline for your note taking. You should always just write notes whenever you think that they are doing things that you would assume are not standard. So I raised, he re-raised, and damn it, we had it. I wanted to raise this flop here, even though I usually call in that spot. I wanted to raise that flop because I thought that there would be a pretty good chance of him having something because he re-raised pre-flop. And if he can't call a raise on the flop, he probably is not going to give us much more money anyway, you know what I mean? So if he has a hand like 2-8s, he's never continuing, right? Like turn card comes anything besides an 8, he's probably check folding. So in my mind, he wasn't likely to bluff too much on turn and river. He might have, but I didn't think so. And so I figured that raising flop would allow him the opportunity to get it in right now and then if he has ace king, ace queen, ace jack, any set, pocket kings if he really wants to. I mean, like, it gives him an opportunity to make a mistake right then and there. We avoid kings and jacks coming off and counterfeiting our hand or slowing him down if he has a hand like ace king and turn as a king, something like that. So maybe I misread him as strong, but I also just don't think he could do very much. He either like folds very quickly or we continue to get, a majority of his stack or something like that. Overpairs don't shove there. You don't think overpairs shove on the board pair? If he bets turn with an overpair, why would he not bet the river? Probably not planning on streaming too much longer. Jason, I just turned online. Jason, I just turned online MTT Pro. There's some word missing there. Recently, can you share your experiences about when you turned pro? Financial career advice. I would tell you should always have more money than you think you should have as far as like saved money. I think that poker is an extremely swingy thing and you can play perfectly for months and just get punished, and that you really want to make sure you have enough money for expenses and your life swings so you can kind of consistently do it. So if you're playing like $50 average buy-in tournaments, you should really, really make sure you have like way more than you think you should have. I mean, multi-tabling and stuff especially, like, don't be afraid to sell action or move down any of those things. Sorry. I don't know. Probably like an orbit maybe or two. Pretty soon, Rory. I had a tenuous plan with Dan O'Brien to do something later. Probably do like a hangout maybe, or maybe a stream tomorrow or something like that. But I have to confirm that with him. That'd be kind of cool, right? Do like exactly this, only with Dan O'Brien, maybe tomorrow or something like that. We're up 12 or 13 sweet dollars. Superfly. Sorry. We're up 13 sweet dollars right now. Don't forget, one more time, if you guys have enjoyed this Twitch chat, we're over on Sin IRC. You can come hang out with us. And oops, all right. You can come hang out with us in this channel, which I was trying to move and I ended up maximizing. You can come hang out with us over in Run It Up on Sin IRC. We are 41 people in there right now, just hanging out, talking poker, doing whatever. That's it, really. Hang out or don't. I'd like you to. I invited you to. If you don't want to, do your own thing. Whatever you want to do. You know, I just letting you know it exists. Raise it up here. No safe queens defended in the button. Defended his or her button. No safe queens. 2 queens on the flop. This is kind of scary, you know, against a guy who says no safe queens in his name. Is there any chance we win this hand against a guy who says no safe queens? All right. Maybe he just has like a policy. He just like never folds on paired queens flops. It's possible. It's possible. Yeah, I think that not everybody plays with the overpairs that way, James DeBear. Talking about the hand where El Guapo raised and bet. I think like not everybody can do that. But I thought El Guapo was capable of doing it, like with overpairs. Like I think he knows enough about us to assume that we can have a pretty good amount of hands. And if he knows that we know that he knows that we know, you know, I think that he can have hands that are weaker than most people there. The server is Sin IRC. Yeah. Basically, IRC works that there's like a network of networks, and that's right. It's a network of networks. And you have to just pick the one that we're on, which is Sin IRC. Never been to Austria, another one of those countries that seems like it would be fun. Dan O'Brien got on a plane recently and was accosted by people who are like, "Are you Dan O'Brien?" And he was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, we know you from Run It Up." I like that. I love hearing stories like that. Ace Queen takes it down. Nice. All right. We'll play out this orbit, one last orbit for the fans. Let's see if we can hold on here. I know I shouldn't announce that because 3 of these guys at least are watching, but it's fine. I'm not afraid. I ain't scared, homie. Planning on doing anything in June for the Run It Up Legion? Yes, for sure. I'm not really sure what we're doing, but I'm sure we'll hang out and do something. I'm sure we'll have some sort of an event, you know, probably multiple events during the course of the summer. Still patiently waiting for your poster. I could have sworn I sent it to you. Can you bump me somewhere, Heisenberg, with Facebook or something? Send me a Facebook message or wherever you messaged me your name the last time. Bump me, and I'll find out what that's all about. You're very welcome, Mia or Maya. Mia, Maya? You're very welcome either way. Appreciate you hanging out. I don't know what your phone options are for apps. Sorry. Oh, please do, Ori. Please do. And let me know so I can record it. That would be even better. Hey, Jason, why don't you just go play at a regular casino and run it up, you know? Come to Wisconsin, play fish like me. I don't know if I'll be playing the cash games in Wisconsin anytime soon, but yeah, if I ever need money, maybe then. Big fan of the beard. I don't know if you're my demographic, James the Bear. Just saying. I don't know if you're, but I'm glad you like it. Thank you. But yeah, we need to ask the I don't know, the 20-year-old gays, I guess, is really who I would value slightly more. Just saying. 20-something is probably more in the wheelhouse of a demographic, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I always like it until the point where it gets too crazy, and then I'm just like, over it. Pretty big shove there by DJ Trappa. Planning on coming to Vegas this month. Any chance to hang out with other Run It Up fans? There might be an event actually in the next, not the next few weeks, but early April. It's possible. We'll see. Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. Are you Jay Carver's apprentice? You should get an autograph from Dan and be like, "Can you sign it as Jay Carver's apprentice, please?" Oh, that would be great. That would be fantastic, especially if we record it. That's right. Not James the Bear. James the Twink's opinion. Far more important. Peter Binklage 420. What a great name that is. It's got to be the best name on Twitch. Not shaved for a year. 92,000 was what I said last time. I kind of agree with that. 92,000 to not shave for a year. Sounds about right. Oh, yeah. Jay Carver's picks to win the NCAA. That's what you want. Jay Carver's picks are the hottest in town. I couldn't even name 3 teams that are in that. I mean, I know they're like college names, but I have no idea. I have never watched a college basketball game in my life. Even though I'm a fan of basketball, not a fan of college basketball. Raised it up here in the button, $1.50. Didn't really do any giveaways. I think tomorrow I'll set up Zanbot. I'll have Zanbot get set up so I can do giveaways and stuff like that. Hello from Toronto, one of the nicest cities I've ever been to. I lived there for a month with Russ, actually, a couple years ago. D. Brown Fucci. What's going on? That's right, James DeBear, super old-timer. Been around since the eating cake era, which is years and years ago, back when I was much more bitter. I'm not really bitter these days. I just don't care enough to be bitter. You have to really care a lot to be bitter. But, yeah. No worries if you missed the stream. We're gonna post this with whole cards over on YouTube. Probably it's gonna take me about 2.5 to 3 hours to get it up. I mean, I posted in like 45 minutes, but YouTube doesn't finish uploading it for about another hour after that. So I think that probably should be up in about 2.5 hours, something like that. We're in for $62, so we're up currently 15 and change. One hand to go, and we'll have officially run it up. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, yeah, if you haven't seen this picture, the latest, if you're on Twitch, you can see it. The latest work of the one and only Will Lavender. Super talented guy. Just does amazing things all the time. All right. GG. So we started today with $815.19. Ended up winning about $13. So we ran up to $828. Thanks for hanging out as always, guys. As always, don't forget to like, friend. Doing one thing at a time. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget you can get notified when we're streaming live. If you follow me on twitch.tv/JayCarverPoker. If you're watching me now on Twitch, don't forget to follow me below. That would be sweet if you haven't already. Check me out, facebook.com/JayCarverPoker, twitter.com/JasonSomerville. Hang out with us on IRC over on hashtag, or the channel name is Run It Up on Sin IRC. And I will see you guys all very soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the running it up. We started with less, ended with more. We'll be doing more of these long live streams soon. This was pretty fun for me. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah, you guys can stick around for the El Guapo Q&A. Thanks for hanging out, guys. And I will see you all back for more very soon. Peace.